The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Fromaware, Bozen the Florist, Northwest Bank, and Catholic United Financial. Thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
And good evening and welcome to high school football, week number 7 here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadale joined by Matt Maindring, John Chido as we get set for a warm night for week 7, middle of October. It's Dowling and Ames, first time these two teams have met in 5 years. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. We're on CISN.TV and the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mr. Maindring.
Hey, great night for football. It feels like an early September temperature-wise, and this is going to be a tough contest tonight. And you're right, we haven't seen them in 5 years, and so this is new territory for the kids, and going against this wide-open offense and a lot of firepower tonight.
Yeah, wide open is extreme. Coach Brian Saucer in his first year at Ames going against a very solid Dowling team who's finally finding their winning ways. They're doing it on the offensive end, defensive end. And Johnny, Dowling's not shooting themselves in the foot as much as they were against some of the ranked teams. Tonight Ames is unranked, but they're in the hunt. They're in the top 16 if the playoffs were held today, and both Ames and Dowling have a lot at stake, and the Maroons have really minimized their turnovers here in the last few weeks.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we talked about this going into the Council Bluffs game, that each game from that point on was going to be like a playoff game. You don't want to have to go into the playoffs and take your chances with 4 losses, and that's kind of what Dowling's looking at, that each game is very important moving forward, and for Ames as well. We're getting down the home stretch here. It's hard to say that and hard to believe it at this point. It went by so quick, but we're getting close to playoff time.
We are. Doesn't feel like it. Feels like the first week of the season where we had 90 degrees in the shade over at Southeast Polk in week 1. But Johnny, you're right, and it's now more schools and more coaches and fans are looking at the deal that comes out every week from the Iowa High School Athletic Association, the playoffs in Class 5A, and that's what we're playing, 5A football, and it is an RPI only. It's not district champs, runners-up. It's all about the RPI overall rating, and as you mentioned, John, that's at stake. But the Ames Little Cyclones, haven't seen them in a while, but Dowling has played them, beat them in the playoffs a few years ago, then we played them back-to-back, I think around 2013 and 14, and the Maroons were successful. But they got a new coach, Brian Saucer, and as Johnny kind of alluded to, Matt, they're going to throw the ball around all over tonight, and you just don't know who's going to catch it and where it's going to be. Yeah,
and the thing about this offense is, it goes quick, and they're going to sit there, and as you said, it's going to be a lot of different people touching the football. Saucer's going to run the offense from the quarterback position, and he's got a lot of targets. They got a lot of athletes. And, I think it works well for where they're at in their program probably. If you haven't built up and don't have that line established, if you can spread the field, get the ball out quick to people, that helps you when you're undermanned in some positions. And it's been successful for them to this point.
Well, it certainly has. And for Dowling, the success, well, they have a 2-quarterback system in now. And both of them, Johnny, threw 2 touchdown passes last week, Jake English and Dante Cataldo. They both share the position, much like the running backs for Dowling, Cam Middleton and C.J. Phillips. So that's been a part of the success. Dowling was only averaging about 12 points on offense through the first 3 or 4 games, and now they're up there averaging 25, and the offense has started clicking. Still not consistent, but it is clicking.
I think each game they're going to find their identity, and I think with Dante Cataldo now getting more reps, it's even better for Jake English and the Dowling team all together, because now you have another guy that you can rely on because he's going to have game experience that's going to be crucial with this run down, getting close to the playoffs. So a 2-platoon system, getting equal reps is great experience for both guys.
You're listening and watching tonight's pregame show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network. We want to thank Pete Tarpey and Justin Wolber and Rachel Hawley. They'll be on the cameras and behind the scenes as we simulcast. We don't get to do that very often in radio, but we simulcast. Yeah. I remember watching for early days of Dish back in the early 80s. You know who did that? The Los Angeles Lakers did that. 10th year doing this, yeah.
10 years already.
So we appreciate that, and we're not on every time, but we're on a lot of times, and this might be the final time this year because Dowling's the road team next week. We're back here at Valley.
Is there a game next week?
Yes, there is.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget that, Mr. Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dowling fans will be on the east side of the stadium next week, and it'll be Valley's home game. And then, of course, the Maroons end their regular season at Waukee, but nonetheless, It's about getting better. Defensively,
Yeah.
Matt, the Dowling defenses look real well. That front four. And, Carson Hagen is not a starter. He's the guy that comes in that rotation. We asked Johnny last week, do that in offense, with the offensive line. It's kind of harder to do. But defense, Matt, they rotate those front four, and then the linebackers have been outstanding all year with Hughes and Townsend and company.
Yeah, Pettis, Hikas, and Patton, that first three that are in there, they are just solid. And then you just run them in. Hagen, Johnson, Rumley has been playing a little better too.
Right.
And there's no drop-off, and the intensity. And what that does is it pays off in the fourth quarter, and it pays off as you get later into the season, when the games are a little higher stress and you got these guys and you don't know who's going to be injured, and that's the thing about it is if an injury happens, now you have the next guy up right away who's got the game experience, and Dowling's been able to do that, and that offensive line is great. And the thing that's impressed me this year, though, really is that linebacker core. And Townsend, Hughes, Shimon, they really do an outstanding job, and Owen Weber, and they've filled the gaps. They've done those things, and if you think about it, it really is. They're 2 plays away, honest to goodness, from being 5-1. Yes. So, I mean, it's really something, and that's because of the defense.
Yes.
We aren't kidding anybody here.
No,
where it's not because of the offense; it's because of the defense. But they're right there.
No question about it. And the Maroons have forced turnovers this year. They have 5 interceptions on the season, and they hope to add to that in the games that are coming up. Again, you're listening and watching tonight's game here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network. It's Dowling Senior Night, and those seniors will be recognized before the game as there's 33 football seniors. I believe 11 cheerleading seniors will be recognized. 2 trainers, and, of course, the team manager. They'll all be recognized. Danielle Grady will announce their names when we start here in a little bit. Now, we understand there's a little delay in the kickoff tonight. 7:15 they're going to kick off, and Ames' bus was delayed. Didn't that happen last time with the Council Bluffs Lincoln team?
This is getting to be a habit here.
Bus delays on Friday night.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go to our first break, because we're having a little bit of an extended pregame show, and we'll get with Coach Tom Wilson. We have one undefeated coach in the Dowling football system.
Here we go.
Mr. Maynard. I think
we have one game left, and he's going to say this right before our last game.
Yeah, to put pressure on
yeah.
The Dowling 8th grade football team, part of the high school now. John Chidle's the head coach. He moved up from water boy to linebackers coach, offensive coordinator, offensive line. Now he's the head coach in year 5. Matt, they're undefeated. Freshmen aren't undefeated. JV team's not undefeated, and the varsity's not. We have apprentices. Congratulations, John.
Yeah,
well, it's the kids. Congratulations, because we always say this: great kids make great coaches.
That's what you're going to do?
Absolutely.
You're going to leave it like that?
And if I didn't have, I have to mention Casey Shelton, Mark Scigliano.
Thank you. Keep going.
Jack McAllister, Pat Reinhardt, and of course Rod Hagen.
Hagen.
We've been there together since the beginning, and so me and Rod have a great relationship, and it's been great coaching with him.
Well, it's a great experience because on this senior night, John, the reason I bring that up, the first group you had will be walking across the field as seniors tonight. And that's amazing. That's where it all starts. Now, you have one more game left. That's next Tuesday night at Dowling, 5 o'clock or so, 5:15. What time you play?
5:15.
Against?
Urbandale.
Okay.
We got parent-teacher conferences. I think I might be able to slide out there and watch a little bit.
I think that's a good idea.
We should bring the mics.
I wasn't sweating until you started bringing this up. Now I'm starting to sweat.
We could go up in the booth and do PA.
Yeah, that's right.
And turn it on a little bit. We could do that. But congratulations, Johnny.
Congratulations.
All the kids.
You don't realize what goes on behind the scenes, folks, but when you have a John Chido and all those group of coaches he mentioned, that's what it takes to get here on Friday night. All right. With that being said, Matt, halftime tonight, we're going to talk pancakes. Carolyn Kirkhoff
I kind of figured you might.
Yeah.
It's getting close.
Yep. We're going to talk pancakes and probably open house. Which will be
that's coming around the corner.
Dowling, so we got all that lined up. We're going to take a break as we simulcast tonight's game on the Central Iowa Sports Network and Iowa Catholic Radio, alongside Mr. Matt Mainring, the principal at Dowling, former ball coach up at Sheldon, Iowa. John Chido, the current ball coach of Dowling 8th graders. I'm Mark Emmerdale, not a ball coach. And we'll be back with more after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.TV.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
And welcome back to the pregame show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Mark Amadale joined now by head coach Tom Wilson as Dowling takes on the Ames Little Cyclones tonight and senior night here at Dowling Catholic. And Coach Wilson, thank you for taking time to join us tonight.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Coach, week 7 and it's senior night. It's been a quick season, but we still got a lot of games left, a lot of important games left, especially when you look at the postseason that everybody seems to kind of notice here in weeks 7, 8, and 9. But it's Dowling and Ames, and the first thing we want to recognize is our seniors. Dowling has 33 seniors. You've known them for quite a while. They were part of that. I think the senior class was part of that first group that you had your 8th grade program as the extension of the high school, not the Catholic Football League. So this is quite a monumental thing here for some of these seniors.
Yeah, it's a good group of kids. We've certainly enjoyed them, and hopefully we can make it a memorable senior night for them, but certainly appreciate their efforts.
Coach, tonight, let's recap a little bit of last week. A big win on the road at Johnston, 38-3, a game that got started off kind of slow. You had the offense had the ball both times in the red zone in the first 2 drives, and you ended up having to turn over on downs before Jake Anderson interception set up your first touchdown from Carson Brown from Dante Cataldo. So a little slow going, but you had a couple of shots early that you talked about it with us at halftime that you couldn't put points on the board.
Yeah, that part was really frustrating, to be honest with you. The second time was probably hard-headedness on my part because I thought we could punch it in, and we proved that we couldn't. And fortunately, the defensive gets us the ball back, and then we're able to put points on the board. And it seemed like after that point, we just really started controlling the ball game. And
Johnson gets their only drive right after you score your first touchdown. They get a drive that results in a field goal. And then the next possession, you go 5 plays and probably your longest drive of the night, 80 yards, capped off by another Dante Cataldo touchdown, this one to Cooper Nicholson on your 4th possession. And then the 5th possession, Noah Senior came up with the interception, and then Jake English, another touchdown to Carson Brown, who ended up with 3 last Friday night. So a big 38-3 win over Johnston, but some big plays there by some kids that really stepped up. Oh, they did. You know, Seymour is done nothing but get better, and feel good about his progress. It was good to see him get the pick and put us in great field position. And Jake Anderson, it's his second year as a starter, and he's only a junior, and so we expect things like that from him and put us in good position. But I really felt that there was a lot of kids that stepped up. You mentioned Carson Brown and the big night that he had, but I thought the quarterbacks managed things very well. I think we had 1 completion on the night, and so did well there. But again, our defense set the tone for things and gave us some short fields and allowed us to put points on the board. Yeah, the final drive of the first half, Coach, put you up 24-3, set up a Diego Leon 23-yard field goal, but Carson Hagan had a big sack on 3rd down, forced Johnson to punt, and you had the ball to run out the half and got the Leon field goal. So that was a big play by Carson Hagan, who came up with some more in the second half. Yeah, Carson has done a good job. He's a tough physical kid, and I think he's starting to grow as a player, and I think we're going to see a lot of good things out of him before it's all done. Well, in the second half, it was a sack by Seymour and a sack by Pettis that forced turnovers on downs by Johnson, their first possession. And then in your 3rd possession of the second half, you put together an 11-play, 74-yard drive. I think Jake English came in halfway through that drive and threw another touchdown pass to Carson Brown, who finished with 3 on the night. And then Rawson Rumley and Carson Hagan come up with a sack in the next possession. And then Kai Woods, tackle for loss. There were some big plays there out of the defense, as they have been all year, but they weren't on the field as much last Friday.
No, they weren't. And, mentioning Kai and Ralston for that matter, those are guys that we rotate in, and, they're probably not talked about as much as the others. But, Kai, the last several weeks has really come on. He's practiced better. He's getting more opportunities. Ralston, he's played a lot of offense prior to this, and last year he fought some injuries, but he's somebody that we think highly of, and hopefully those guys can continue to get better.
And then finally, Coach, block punt by Carson Hagan. He blocked a Carson Hansen-Johnston punt, give you a pretty good field position. And then Matt Hanton, a fumble recovery as the game ended. You got a lot of guys in. Hanton just a sophomore, and that has to pay dividend, especially as you're getting into weeks 7, 8, and 9. You really want to limit some of the carries of your offensive line, your starters, and you're getting other kids in. And that's kind of an extension of a JV game, so to speak.
Well, you hope so. And we weren't able to get as many kids as we did the week before. But I thought those that came in did a nice job. Hanton's been up with us the entire year and has really continued to grow. I think he's going to be a really good player before it's all said and done. Hard worker, and just comes to practice and means business every day. So a lot of those kids are showing progress and what they can do, and we just have to do that with the entire team.
Visiting with head coach Tom Wilson before tonight's game. It's Dowling and Ames. Ames with a record of 4-2. Dowling Catholic with a record of 3-3. I'll return with Coach Wilson. We'll talk more about tonight's opponent, the Ames Little Cyclones. This is Mark Amadale from Valley Stadium, Dowling Senior Night, and we'll return after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Joined now by head coach Tom Wilson as we continue our conversation. Tonight it's Dowling and Ames from Valley Stadium on senior night for Dowling Catholic. They'll be recognized during the game. And Coach Wilson, the Ames Little Cyclones, haven't seen them in a while. I know we've won our last 3 meetings with Ames, and the last one might have been a playoff game over at Williams Stadium several years ago. But new coach, maybe a little bit of a new system. Talk about what you know about these little Cyclones who come in with a record of 4-2, and they certainly want to stay in that top 16 in Class 5A. Top 16 make the playoffs, and they're right in the hunt.
Oh, they are, and I think Coach Salzer's come in and implemented, new schemes all the way throughout, and certainly getting some buy-in from his kids. And as you mentioned, they're 4-2, and I don't think they've faced the schedule that we have to start out the year, but nonetheless, they are in the hunt. And so they'll make things interesting. As they're going to throw the ball, you'll see more formations out of their offense than you'll probably see anybody else that we play, and some of them are not so conventional. So it makes sure that a defense stays communicating and stays sound, and I think that's the big thing is they try to move people around, maybe shifts and motions to get a numbers advantage, so then they can either throw or run the football. I would expect them to throw probably 35 to 40 times, and out of their defense you'll see a 3-4 defense and with a 2-high shell, a lot of man-to-man cover, and so it'll just be a matter of how well we execute and how well defensively we can communicate and make plays.
Well, their quarterback is the coach's son, Dallas Saucer, a junior, but he's a left-hander. And that makes a difference now in quarterbacking theories, but something you got to be mindful of. They have a freshman that's one of their leading tailbacks, Jamison Poe. I know you said they're going to rotate some kids, but Poe's like 5'9", 150. He must be one of those scat-back type kids, and they're going to work a lot off him, and it sounds like they're going to throw it around, much like Johnson liked to do last week.
They will, and the big thing is where are we at coverage-wise with their unconventional formations. Number 17, he's worn 3 in one game, but number 17, Corey Phillips, he's about 6'5", 270, and he plays wide receiver. So when he does catch the ball, hopefully we have several guys there to tackle him. So they do have good skill. Their quarterback's done a nice job. I think there's a reason why they're running things like that. They're not going to line up and try to pound it at us. You mentioned their running back. He does have good speed. He's had good games and things like that. So I think the big thing for us is staying sound and making tackles and see if they can drive the field on us. And when the opportunity presents itself to get ourselves some turnovers, we have to do it. And the quarterback is tough to get to just because he gets rid of the ball so quickly. And so, you hope you can get a rush to him and force him into some mistakes, but that's easier said than done.
Coach, we talked a little bit last week during the game about rotations. Not only you rotate your defensive line and some of the other positions on defense, but on your offensive line, keeping kids fresh, and then you see you wear down teams in the second half when you have the opportunity to. And in order to do that, you got to be able to have trust in those kids that maybe that second line. It's like a second line or a third line in hockey. You got to have trust in them, and it seems like you do. And some of the younger kids have come around. Some of the seniors who didn't start a year ago now find themselves in the starting position and getting better. And if you have that confidence, that really just matriculates the rest of the team.
Well, you'd hope so, and that's kind of an evolution of every team. As you try to make people better, you want to create competition for playing time. And as we started off against the teams that we were playing, that was harder to do. But nonetheless, that's part of it, and we embrace that. And some was good for us, and other things were bad. And here we are, a 3-3 football team, and our job is to continue to focus one at a time and get this team better and see what we can do before it's all said and done.
Coach, thanks again for taking time to visit with us. I know you're going to enjoy senior night. These seniors are, but the main thing is you got to get the win in the column and move on to next week. You can't look past Ames to get to Valley, which is next week. Hard to believe we're playing a Valley team in Week 8, but nonetheless, Ames is the focus tonight. Best of luck.
They are. Thank you.
Head coach Tom Wilson joining me here on the pregame show from Valley Stadium. It's Dowling and Ames. Coming up, Matt Maindring and John Schott rejoin the broadcast. This is Mark Hamadale, and we'll return with more of tonight's game between Dowling and Ames. More pregame after these messages here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Listen to Making It Personal with Bishop William Joensen Friday mornings at 9 on Iowa Catholic Radio or on demand at iowacatholicradio.com and the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And welcome back to the pregame show here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. John Schott has made his way down to the field. And we've got about a 20-minute delay here. Well, I shouldn't say delay. Part of the pregame going on as we're going to kick off right around 7:15, folks. Ames had transportation issues, and we had that earlier the last time Dowling was home, Matt Maindring, with the Council Bluffs Lincoln bus getting stalled out over by Stewart due to an accident that tied up traffic. And Ames, I think, had a mechanical issue, but nonetheless, We're going to have a kickoff here momentarily on a very warm Friday night for, October 8th. It's hard to believe.
It really is. You get this late in the year, you're expecting to have long sleeves on and everything else, and here we have a pink out with our student section, and everybody's in T-shirts, and it is like an early season game. But, no, it's one of those games with a lot on the line as we get to this point of the season.
Sure.
And should be a fun night.
Well, it should be, as our game time temperature is 79 degrees right now. It feels like 81 degrees, they're saying. Southeast breeze at 5 miles per hour. That helps when it bring it right into our windows here.
There we go.
We're on the west side of the stadium. And humidity at 50%, so there's our conditions. So a beautiful night to have Parents' Night and Senior Night, and they are making their way across the field, all 33 Dowling football seniors, along with 11 cheer squad seniors, 2 trainers who are seniors that help out with the training apparatus with Dowling, and of course 1 manager, and that's Nate Brown. So they're all being escorted with their families tonight, and it's quite an occasion. Now, when this happened with me 40-some years ago, Matt, it was at the Old Valley Stadium over on 8th Street where they have a high school at. But I remember that vividly. My mom and dad both were there. Kind of a damp, dreary night, as normally it's in October, towards your last home game. Because homecoming gets the better calendar, the better weather the month before. But I remember that very vividly in this night, and to this day, 40-some years later, it's amazing. And hats off to them. They'll remember this.
Yeah, I don't, now that you say that, I don't know if I remember my parents' night. It was always an adventure to get the main rings off the farm, and to get them in and get the cows milked in time to get out to the football game. But they didn't miss any, and so I'm sure we get out there. But it is always the last home game of the year, and it's a good recognition time. And the parents put in so much time over the. It's more than 4 years, because when we talk about Johnny and his 8th grade team and all those things, there's a lot of time and a lot of effort put in over a number of years to get to this point in their career, in all of these sports, in all the things our kids participate in.
No question. And speaking of Johnny, he's down there. He'll be walking across the field here in a few years with one of his boys. And, John, give us an update. You're down on the field, Parents' Night, and can you hear Mr. O'Grady okay? We want to make sure everybody can hear who's being introduced.
Oh, you can hear him very well. I have, even with the volume I have with my earpiece, turned up as loud as I can get it.
Well, it is a special moment, and I know you know some of these guys because they've been with you, or you've known them for probably more than 5 years, Johnny. This is your first. They were your first 8th grade team that you coached with Coach Flood, Coach Kuhn back in the days, and now here they are seniors. So you kind of remember some of these guys that stuck with the program for actually 5 years. Yeah,
a lot of these kids we coached back in starting in 4th grade all the way through. And it's just amazing to see that. And a lot, most of them are still playing today, and that's just a great thing to see. A lot of them are actually, and it's just amazing. It's just it goes by so quick. I just have to say that. And when we go back, and I remember coaching with Ed Gokenauer and Wade Backenstosh, and we tell these kids, someday you'll be playing on Friday nights under the lights, and what an experience it's going to be. And here we are on senior night. So
well, unfortunately, they wanted to do it their 8th grade year. They thought they were good enough. You know that.
Right.
They come out there. They thought, I could compete with these seniors who, by the way, won a few state titles during that time. And you know how that goes. But you got to bring them down, and you did. And here they are tonight. Yeah,
and they were fortunate to play through that since 2013, went on that seven in a row with state titles, and then, of course, the one in 2010. So they've been very blessed with a lot of accomplishments being part of this program at an early age and being able to come here now on senior night and have a chance to play tonight and move forward and hopefully have a chance to play in the Dome.
One thing before you jump in there, Mark, is that, what's fun for me in my job is I remember these kids when they were freshmen walking around the hallways, and it's fun to see them mature and grow up and be leaders. Because, some of these kids, you're thinking when they're freshmen, there's no way they're going to be leaders, and you look out here now and our kids, and it's a testament to the whole community that's around them as they go through our high school and mature.
Sure. And
all of our teachers and everybody that help lift these kids, the priests and everybody. So I mean, it's fun to see. It's fun to see them mature and reach this point in their career.
Yep, 36 seniors being introduced tonight here as we get set for kickoff. Dowling and Ames here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ames coming in with a record of 4-2. They've won their last 3 games, and Dowling's record is 3-3, and the Maroons have won 3 of their last 5 games. So we'll have kickoff here in about 15 minutes. Got a little bit of time here. Let's take a look at some of the matchups tonight across the Class 5A district, and this is getting important because people are going to start watching that RPI chart that comes out every Monday or Tuesday from the Boys Association. Number 2 Southeast Polk on the road at number 6 Cedar Rapids Prairie. Both teams with records of 5-1, and they are scheduled to kick off here the same time we are tonight at 7:15. It's 4th-ranked Valley. That'll be Dowling's opponent next Friday night. Valley with a record of 5-1. They're at Des Moines Lincoln with the record of 4-2. Both teams have playoff possibilities going, so it should be an exciting game over at Hutchins Stadium in Des Moines South Side. 5th-ranked Urbandale travels to Sioux City, and they take on Sioux City West. Urbandale with a record of 5-1. Sioux City West with a record of 2-4. No kickoff. They kicked off at 7 o'clock at Olson Stadium in Sioux City. Des Moines North at 7th-ranked Ankeny tonight. Ankeny with a record of 4-2. Other games has Ottumwa at 10th-ranked Linn-Mar of Marion. That's a 7:15 kickoff in Marion, Iowa tonight. Ankeny Centennial with a record of 3-3 at Waukee Northwest, also a record of 3-3, and that game might decide maybe the final playoff spot. Who knows here in a couple weeks, but that game is part of the TV13 group. Keith Murphy and Justice Ernst broadcasting that game. And then also in Waukee, the Waukee Warriors, the original Waukee team, record of 1-5. They are hosting, and that's Dowling's next opponent in 2 weeks. Waukee Warriors hosting Council Bluffs Lincoln. And that game is on CISN.TV over there at Waukee. So both Waukee Northwest and Waukee High both hosting tonight, Matt Maynard.
There was a lot of traffic when I was driving over.
I wondered about that.
Yeah.
Other games has Roosevelt at Marshalltown. Sioux City North is at Johnston. And Sioux City East at Des Moines East. So East won't lose or win tonight. Well, something will happen tonight. East will be involved, so how about that? And so other games that have 4A implications, Mason City is at 7th-ranked Waverly Shell Rock tonight, 6th-ranked Indianola at Carlisle, and number 5 Norwalk at Perry. Des Moines Hoover hosting Dallas Center Grimes, and Fort Dodge on the road at Storm Lake. So those are a look at what's going on tonight. Next week, Dowling will be at 4th-ranked Valley right here at Valley Stadium, and Lincoln will travel to Ames. That's Des Moines Lincoln at Ames, so if you're looking ahead to next week. Again, we're at the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. I think we'll take a break. Justin's giving me the high side on the TV side. They need a break. Got to get their sponsors in. We do, too. We want to thank them as they've been with us all season long here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. They include Ashworth Vision, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates. Also want to thank Northwest Bank, Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Kemen. Of course, our Red Zone is sponsored by Bose and the Florist. And Mr. Maynard, you're going to come up with the keys to tonight's game presented by Catholic United Financial. We'll come up with more. We'll have that coming up here in our pregame show. Along with John Chido and Matt Maynard, I'm Mark Amadale. Back with more from Valley Stadium, Dowling Senior Night. It's Dowling and Ames here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
I don't believe in hell. A loving God wouldn't send anybody to such a place.
You're right. A loving God wouldn't do that. But he's not going to force anyone to go to heaven either. If you dislike a certain relative and they knew it, is it loving of them to be around every chance they got? No. If they really loved you, they'd let you decide if you wanted to be around them or not. It's the same thing with God. He loves us, but won't force us to love him back. Because true love can't be forced. God gives us our lives on earth as a way to choose if we want to love him and spend eternity with him in heaven, or if we want to reject him and live apart from him in hell. So how do we know how to love God? Pray for guidance and grace, follow the commandments in the church, seek the truth, and let it lead you right to heaven. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium, Dowling Senior Night. It's Dowling and Ames here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandering, and John Chido as we get set for tonight's game. And, Matt, we had boys state golf going on. Last year the Maroons qualified some individuals, but this year they qualified as a team. They won their district by 8 strokes up at Ames Vinker Golf Course earlier this week.
Yeah.
And now the Maroons are involved. They take 10 teams in Class 4A that qualify. And give us an update on how the Maroons did so far, because it's a 2-day event.
It's a 2-day event, and right now the team is in 8th place as they prepare to play again tomorrow. And, you get the likes of Jake Noonan and Cahalan and Ferrari and Jurge. They lead that group, and I know Coach Gray was excited to place first. That was a tough district to get out of, and to place first by this team was really, really good. And it's golf is a streaky thing, so if they get hot tomorrow, they can push their way up there. And I know these boys are talented enough that they can get it done.
Yeah, Dowling was the third-ranked team in that district. Johnson was a fifth-ranked team. They didn't qualify. Centennial was 7th-ranked. Southeast Polk was 9th-ranked, and they did qualify, along with Indianola, who was 14th-ranked. So you're talking about 5 teams in that district, and 3 of them didn't qualify. So that makes it a tough year. Now, individually they can, but not certainly. So, all right,
and I missed Burns, too. I knew I was missing one guy, and I got him. So there we go.
We'll take a break and come back with more here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.TV.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. What is a patron saint? The classic professions such as soldiers or doctors have patron saints who represent the ideal of soldiering or doctoring. And yet, so many of the trades and crafts on which the modern world depends do not have an ideal figure. There is no patron saint of plumbers, for instance, and G.K. Chesterton says there should be. It would be a revolution, for it would inspire each individual plumber to consider that there was once a perfect being who actually did plumb. In the meantime, what do plumbers and the rest of us do? Chesterton says, keep before your eyes the supreme adventure of virtue. If you're kind, think of the man who was kinder than you. That's what is meant by having a patron saint. Want more than a minute? Visit us at chesterton.org.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandering, John Chido, Dowling fight song being played. John Chido's on the Dowling sideline, and I got to ask you, Coach, I know what the guy up here from Sheldon, Iowa would tell me, but does this delay have an effect on the kids, Johnny, for both Ames and Dowling? They're in the locker rooms for an extra 15 minutes tonight, plus the pregame festivities with senior night.
Like with anything else, I think there's delays as it's going on, affects them, more jitters, a little bit nerves, but once the kickoff comes and that ball's kicked in the air, it's playing football and everything's forgotten. And no, not really.
Okay. Well, Matt, I'm going to give you our throw it to you for our keys to the game, and we appreciate our support this year from Catholic United Financial, providing life insurance, Medicare supplement insurance, retirement annuities, and much more online at CatholicUnitedFinancial.org. And Coach Maynard, your keys to tonight's game, Dowling and Ames.
This is the first team that's really going to throw the ball on a consistent basis against this defense. And so it's really, I think the keys tonight is to really watch the back four. Joe Reed, Jake Anderson, Noah Seamer, and Blake Anderson. And we'll see Jake out there too. But, it's really going to be the first time they're tested continually throughout the game. And I think that's going to be the key for the night is, can they create some turnovers? Are they going to get the coverage in there and not get beat deep? It's keep everything in front of you, let that front four do its work, and then good things will happen.
Well, let me ask you this, Matt. Last week, I'm bringing up Ames's contest. They won at Council Bluffs Lincoln. Remember, when we left Johnson High School last week, Ames was trailing, but we were ahead of everybody because we had the running clock. Ames went on to defeat Council Bluffs Lincoln 52-31. Dowling had beaten that team the week earlier, but Ames threw 33 times. They rushed the ball 32 times, so that was more of a balanced thing.
Yeah.
You're saying tonight against Dowling and their defense, they may air it out all the time.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and spread it out. Now, they do have this freshman running back, Jamison Poe, who's the real deal as a freshman. He's already got 616 yards this season and 5 touchdowns, and he can run the ball. And he is a quick kid, and for a freshman, that's pretty impressive. And so we'll see tonight how they handle the pressure. But again, I think it's going to be making sure that the Dowling defense can stop those big plays.
All right, and offensively, Johnny, we kind of talked about John Chotto down the Dowling sideline right now in our extended pregame. The Maroon offense, 2 quarterbacks. Doesn't make, I've always was taught it's not who starts, it's who finishes ball games. And, Johnny, that's kind of the deal tonight. Dante Cataldo, the sophomore, and Jake English, the senior, waiting for Jackson Smolik to get healthy, and that could happen here in a few weeks. We don't know. He's been working out. But getting the tempo, getting the timing, and getting the offensive line to gel, there's a lot of things going on with those moving parts on the offensive side for the Maroons tonight.
Yeah, there sure is. And I think that the key words we're looking for is finished drives. Going back to last week, there was 2 drives that Dowling wasn't able to finish. There in the red zone, went for it on 4th and 2 and came away with 0 points. So I think tonight is the main focus is the finished drives, whether it's Dante Cataldo, Jake English, and I think they're just going to thrive as they move forward, especially Dante. The more reps he gets, the better he becomes. And I wouldn't be surprised as many times as you'll see these 3-4 defenses that Dowling has faced this year. Now, this defense won't create a lot of movement like Ankeny did with their 3-4, but I think you'll see Dowling take a shot, maybe take a shot early, and see if they can get those corners sleeping.
All right. Appreciate that update, John, as the captains now are making their way towards the center of the field. But the Dowling captains are ready. We're waiting for the Ames team to leave their locker room because there's nobody for them to meet at midfield. The referees are, I think, heading down to the Ames locker room because they,
make sure they're not locked in.
Right. That's plenty of things have happened.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen.
Another, talking about the Dowling offense, another kid that's really emerged as the years gone on is Carson Brown. And, Carson Brown, we talked a lot about Louis Brooks last year, right?
Yes.
I mean, he was an impact player. Carson Brown is slowly starting to become that kid, and he's going up and getting the football. Johnny mentioned last week how he's doing such a good job of high pointing that football and getting up in the air, and I really look for him. As Johnny said, taking a shot, Carson Brown early. That could be a play.
Well, if you're watching on CISN .TV, you saw a picture of the Ames players now coming out of their locker room. And we will have the coin toss. Let's take a look at the rankings while we have a little bit of time before we send it back for a word from Dr. Ryan. Dr. Ryan and from our pregame prayer from Father Ryan Andrew. Number 1 team in Class 5A this week. This is Radio Iowa's poll. Our good friend Todd Kim does the rankings every Monday. Cedar Rapids Kennedy, undefeated and number 1 ranked in Class 5A this week. Southeast Polk second with a 5-1 record. City High of Iowa City is third. They're 6-0. And Valley is 4th, and Urbandale is 5th. Both Valley and Urbandale with records of 5-1. 6th, 7, and 8 has Cedar Rapids Prairie, Ankeny, and Dowling Catholic. At 9th is Dubuque Senior, and number 10 is Linn-Mar of Marion. Those are your top 10 teams in Class 5A. Now, the rankings are just kind of for show, but the other stuff that you have in your left hand there, Matt, those are more important, and they call that the football RPI, and that's on the Iowa High School Athletic Association boys website every Monday after they get everything total. That is what you want to start following, folks, and just chop it off at 16, because if we had the playoffs now, Matt, Dowling will be traveling to City High tonight if that were to happen.
Oh, yeah, a little rematch.
Yeah, could be.
It's interesting, because you can take a team like Southeast Polk who has had, I would say, outside of Dowling, probably the toughest schedule. And so they do deserve that number 1 spot.
They do. And I think Centennial, before the season, had one of the other tougher schedules. So we'll take a break, come back. We'll have the kickoff. It's Dowling and Ames from Valley Stadium on a beautiful night, 79 degrees. Light southeast wind, perfect night for high school football and senior night and senior recognition of their parents and families. And we'll be back with the kickoff. But coming up, a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and our pregame prayer with Father Ryan Andrew coming up here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School. Welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School football. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting football, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Ryan Andrew, and I'm the chaplain at Dowling Catholic High School. Let us pray for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask you to bless all those involved in this athletic competition tonight. We ask that you keep them safe and that they all show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. All holy men and women, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium, West Des Moines, as we get set for week number 7 of the Iowa high school football season. Yeah, they only play 9 regular season weeks. Matt, you remember those all too well. You started looking ahead, I'm sure, as a coach, getting your teams ready and all that stuff. But now we're in week 7, and you got to get through this game. You can't look forward. Dowling fans, you can't look to Valley next week. Dowling players can't do that. And Ames is in the same boat. They can't look ahead to Lincoln next week to try to, keep playoff hopes alive.
It is funny, over the years, all these reiterations of how they're doing the playoffs, every few years they tweak it. I remember sitting on Saturday mornings, there's coaches with pins on maps and everything else trying to figure out who might you play, and because it was a geographical thing for a while, it was this and it was that. And, so it is interesting, and I'm sure they got coaches doing the math on it. Jarek Seifert or somebody's doing the math on this RPI stuff.
Oh, yeah. As we're underway, Diego Leon kicks it off, high-end over-end kick, and it'll go to the end. Nope, at the 1-yard line, fielded by Ames. They're going to return it from the 1-yard line across the 15 up to the 16-yard line. That's where Little Cyclones will start 1st and 10 from there. As John Chido will bring you in on the Dowling defense. The Maroons we're going to see their front four and see what kind of defense that the Maroons have come up with tonight to kind of curtail this passing offense of Ames.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of aggressive play. You can't let Ames quarterback sit back there and pick you apart and have time to throw the football. So the defense line's going to get after them. And Dowling has been fortunate; they only have to send their front four. But the more pressure they put on the Ames quarterback, the better it is for the secondary.
Okay, first down Ames. The line of scrimmage is their own 16 as we're underway here at Valley Stadium. Dallas Saucer, 6'2", 150-pound junior, the coach's son, and his dad Brian is in his first year. Little swing pass out to the left of the formation. It's dropped. Did they call it a catch or not? It's incomplete.
Incomplete.
Says the side judge. Bring up 2nd and 10. So they're just trying to get outside the line of scrimmage, Matt, little bubble stuff outside the hashes, and try to get their athletes in some running room.
In coach speak, it's a long handoff, these little bubble screens. That one was out to Drew Peterson out there coming off the bubble from Saucer, and he had it for a second, took his eyes off and dropped it.
All right, 2nd down and 10. As they have Poe in the backfield. That's Jamison Poe for Ames. He is a 5'9 freshman. And they get the ball. The ball's knocked out of bounds, and that was Joe Flannery with the football, and he's knocked out of bounds right about the 25-yard line for a gain of 5.
For a gain of 5, and, it looked like that was Kellen Shimon that came up and just laid a lick on him right on the sideline right there, knocking him out of bounds. But
check that, gain of 8.
Gain of 8, yeah.
As they started at the 16-yard line. So Ames now with a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. Little Cyclones going left to right or north to south here at Valley Stadium. The wind is from the south, but right around 5-10 miles per hour. Ames in their orange pants, white jerseys, black helmets. Their school colors are black and orange. And now here's a pass, and it's tipped and incomplete. And out there lurking, it was Jake Anderson. He may have had a little deflected ball, but it hit the ground instead of his hands. Incomplete, and I'll bring up 4th and 2 for the Little Cyclones.
His eyes got pretty big as that ball came off of Drew Peterson's hands there and on the deflection. And the ball skipped away out of bounds and brings up a punting situation.
So this will be the season debut of freshman punter Charles Tucker, number 23. He'll stand back at his own 15-yard line. There's no stats on him. And the Maroons will go with twin safeties as Blake Anderson and Cooper Nicholson's number 7 and 8 will stand at their own 40-yard line. And we'll see how this young freshman does. Charles Tucker. Snap, gets it away. It's an end-over-end low kick, and it's out of bounds, angling to the Dowling sideline. And the Maroons are going to have great field position, Matt, right at their own, at the 41-yard line. Excuse me, I'll spit it out. 41-yard line of Ames.
Yeah, we had the cheerleaders there trying to scramble and get that punt. And, it's a great field position for the Maroons as they start off here. And the punter from Ames got rid of it as quick as he could, did what he did. And now the Dowling offense starts on their side of the field.
Yeah, we'll go down to John Shido for a report after this play. The Maroons now with their offense on the field. And Jake English at quarterback. Little swing pass the right side. It's caught, and that's Carson Brown. And he spins across the 45, and the ball's loose, and Ames thinks they have it, and they may, as Carson fumbled the ball, and they're going to stop the clock. No signal yet.
No signal yet. That usually means it stayed with the Maroons, yes.
I think Carson fell right on top of it. John Schauder, you're right down there. Let's go down to you. Good run by Carson Brown, but the ball came loose.
Yeah, and it right there at the end, and he was already on the ground too, I think. But you don't want to take that chance and leave it in the official's hand. But Carson was able to hop on it and not make that decision easy.
Yeah, 6-yard gain for Dowling, so it'll bring up 2nd and 4 for the Maroons. Jake English, a quarterback.
Call motion.
And they're going to have a procedure call.
Yeah.
They're going to get Dowling's tight end, number 88, Jalen Thompson, for moving a hair too quick.
Must have a little bob over there because I didn't see him come across the line of scrimmage, but he must have moved. That's another thing that's changed so much in the game over 20 years. Those kids can't even flinch anymore in that line of scrimmage, and it's a movement.
Yeah, it is. And now it'll bring up 2nd and 9 Dowling and move back to the 40-yard line. The Maroons will put the ball on the ground and over right tackle and running with the football, breaking tackles and angling for a near first down is a tailback.
Yeah, that was Cam
Middleton.
Yeah, I'd have to ask Johnny if he put his hand on the ground and kept himself up because I thought he was down at one point. He must have broke probably 3 tackles there as he's busting through. I'm watching here now on the replay, and he was bouncing off of Ames guys, keeping his feet, keeping his shoulders and hips squared, and runs for a first down.
14-yard run for Cam Middleton. And now here is English back to throw.
Takes
once
open.
And wide open is Carson Brown. Touchdown Dowling. What a well set up play as they move Cam Middleton in motion to the left of formation. And the defensive safety was drawn to him. And Carson Brown in for the touchdown for Dowling from 26 yards.
Yeah, that's scouting right there. They knew what Ames was going to do on a rotation right there. And what happened was they had one guy for 2 Dowling defenders. And you'll be able to see it if you're watching CISN TV here on the replay. Carson Brown's wide open as they rotated over to the middle of the field. An easy pitch and catch.
26-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Jake English to Carson Brown. Diego Leon in for the extra point. Ball is down by English, and the snap by Hagan is up, and the kick is good. 7-0 Dowling. We'll take a break with 10:17 remaining. First quarter, you're listening and watching tonight's Iowa High School Class 5A district game on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and Central Iowa Sports Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him, and neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. That is why those who share that Spirit understand one another so readily. To try to teach people about Christ and the mysteries of our holy faith is almost like trying to teach a blind man color, unless those people are ready to receive the Spirit of Christ himself. Now, converts who take instruction come to know that Jesus is our Lord. Where do they learn it? From the Spirit. The Holy Spirit woos the soul, draws it to a closer fellowship, to a more intimate union, becomes our sanctifier, just as the Father is our Creator and the Son is our Redeemer.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. Diego Leon will kick off for Dowling Catholic and a high end-over-end kick, and it goes to the 1-yard line, returned by Ames. And they'll get it across the 10, 12, and he's wrapped up there, tripped up right about the 13-yard line on the return for the Little Cyclones. And, you can almost let that go back in the end zone, but the Ames Little Cyclones returned it, and that was Evan Gray on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Little Cyclones from right around their own 13-yard line. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That is where John Chido is at. And how about a very efficient first drive of the night, Johnny? 4 plays, 41 yards after the short punt. And the Maroons score on a 26-yard touchdown from Carson Brown from quarterback Jake English.
Yeah, and they motioned Cam out of the backfield, and like Coach Mandering said, they didn't count for that, and he did a flash like a screen pass, and both safeties in the corner bid on that, and Carson ran free, and Jake threw a nice ball to him and allowed him to get in for 7.
So Dowling leading 7-0. Ames now will be starting on their own 13-yard line. A little jet sweep around the left side and pick up nice yardage to try to get outside the numbers there. And the ball carrier was finally brought down shy of the 20-yard line.
Looks like it looked like a jet sweep, but it was a little pass out there to Jamison Poe again. And a good block by the receiver sprung him for about 4 more yards.
Yeah, 7-yard gain, and you're right. It was a little swing pass to their tailback Poe. Instead of handing it off to him, you just throw it out and, again, let the athletes work outside the defensive linemen. So, all right, first down, or rather second down we'll call it. 2nd and 3 for Ames Little Cyclones. Saucer, the quarterback. He is a left-handed quarterback. And the handoff inside, and that is Poe again, and he crashes over left tackle and tries to push the pile forward. He'll be shy of the first down by about a yard, a gain of about 2.
Yeah, it's going to be just a little short there. They tried to do a little counter and run motion across the formation and counter back towards it. They're going to give him the first down. They're going to move the chains.
They moved up to 23. That's why.
Yep.
He got a good spot. So
yeah, he did.
3-yard run, 1st and 10 Ames.
And this is a big deal right now. Jamison Poe's running off the field limping a little bit, so he's running to the sidelines.
Now his backup is another freshman. Dwayne Long, Matt. Dwayne Long, 5'11" freshman. Poe's a little bit more durable. Long was injured after he got, but you're bringing up freshmen to varsity football. That makes it tough, but Ames is going to try to make it work. And now here's the pass, and to the near side, Corey Phillips, his first catch, and boy, what a load. He's getting some Division I looks. Outstanding-looking receiver, 6'5", 270. And they split him out wide right, and he breaks tackles and finally brought down about the 39-yard line, a pickup of 16.
It takes a couple men to bring him down. I mean,
wow.
he is a big kid, and he is everything that you've heard about it. Is Corey Phillips, as you said, 270 as a receiver. Now, obviously, at the next level, he'd be probably playing a tight end position, but get him outside, get him the ball, and one-on-one with a lot of corners, that's a tough play.
Yeah, 3 years ago, now we got a penalty flag down. And let's recognize our officials tonight. Ryan Fries is our referee. Jim Pfeiffer is our umpire. Greg Jennis, Mike Kelly, and Steve Ebert, our officiating crew tonight. And I remember seeing Corey Phillips make a basketball debut up in Ames. We did a Dowling girl-boy doubleheader in Ames. And here's a freshman that Coach Downs for Ames put out there. And it's like, here he is 3 years later. And that guy's a young man, and he's going to be – you got to keep an eye on that number.
Yeah,
17. All right, 1st and 15. They push the ball back to the 34-yard line. Ames with the penalty. So Saucer out of the shotgun. He'll be out of that call all night long. 2 receivers left. And they're letting the play clock run down as far as possible. And the give is to the left side. And let's see if it's going to be Deshaun Long, number 28, in there. And he's hitting stacked up right at the point of attack, which was the left guard.
It is the game plan for Ames. Every snap so far that they've done, they're going to use the whole play clock. They want to shorten the game up, which is smart on their part, especially when you're throwing the ball that much. You know, you get incompletes, clock stops, and everything else. So they're trying to use as much of the clock as possible to shorten the game.
So to bring up with no gain, I'll bring up 2nd and 14 for Ames. Saucer will work once again out of the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. And I think it's Phillips that's at the bottom of your screen if you're watching on CISN. He'll wear number 17. And they're letting the play clock go down to 3, and now the snap. He looks at Phillips. Pass is thrown there, caught at the 39-yard line up to the original line of scrimmage for a pickup of 4 by Corey Phillips. And Dallas Saucer with another completion.
A pickup of 4, and then it took 4 to get him down. And Joe Reed led the charge there for the Maroons and gets the tackle on the play. But he had 3 Three teammates there in a hurry to help him.
All right, it'll bring up 3rd and 10 for Ames. Clock running, 6:35 remaining here in the first quarter on Dowling senior night here at Valley Stadium. 7-0, Dowling with the lead. And again, the play clock getting down to 10, and they're just waiting for it. It's all about the play clock.
It is.
And trying to reduce the game, so to speak. Receivers, and now we've got, I believe, a timeout. Timeout Ames. We'll take a break. 6:21 remaining, first quarter. Dowling 7, Ames nothing here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
If an atheist were to take his claim that there's no God to its logical conclusion, he'd have to admit that life is meaningless because it's just a cosmic accident and that people have no real worth. Think about it. If we have no soul, then we're no more than matter, springs and widgets that achieved self-awareness. The atheist George Waddle said, quote, 400 years ago, there was a collection of molecules named Shakespeare, which produced Hamlet. And Bertrand Russell said that all man's achievement will be buried beneath the debris of a universe in ruins. Of course, you might meet an atheist with a sense of purpose or high moral standards, but that's not because of their belief that life's an accident and man is just highly evolved space sludge. It's because atheists were created with a purpose. They have a soul that's drawn to truth, beauty, and goodness, and they were made in the image and likeness of God, just like you and me. And you don't have to believe in gravity to have it pull you to the ground. This is Chris Stefanik from RealLifeCatholic.com.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. Ames using one of their first timeouts of the first half. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Mainring, John Chido on the Dowling sideline. It is 3rd and 10 for Little Cyclones after the timeout with 6:21 remaining here in the first quarter. Dowling 7-0. Ames on their own 39-yard line. Here's the snap. Saucer looking left, throws left, airs it out. He's got an arm, and the pass is knocked down and incomplete. High pointing that ball was Blake Anderson. He got up there and tipped it down and incomplete, and will bring up 4th and 10 Ames.
Two defenders there, and that ball was up for grabs, and great play by both. It was Jake Anderson and Blake, and so, it's great defense. And the ball was basically what they did was a jump ball. We're going to throw it up there, see what happens, and the Dowling defense batted it away.
All right. The freshman punter in for Ames, Charles Tucker, punted a 16-yard kick the last time. Good snap, gets it away. It's a low spirally kick, angling out of bounds. It'll go out of bounds at Dowling 32. So the Maroons will start in their own territory for the first time tonight. 1st and 10, Dowling from their own 32-yard line with 6:10 remaining. First quarter, Dowling 7, Ames nothing. The Dowling offense taking the field. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. And John Chido, give us an update. Dowling defense looking pretty well right now.
Yeah, and covering Corey Phillips, like you guys mentioned, is a task. And I remember watching him play a 7th grade basketball game for the Iowa Attack and drive down the middle lane and dunk a basketball at 7th grade. And I was like, wow, I want to see this kid as he gets older.
Mm-hmm. Well, John, you got a front row seat right now. First down for the Maroons, and they start from their own 32-yard line, and the give is to the tailback, and that is C.J. Phillip getting his first ball carry of the night, and he may have gotten to the 35, so they put the ball down up to the 37-yard line. Nice little run on first down.
It was for C.J., and that's the maturity of C.J. Phillip right there, because early in the year he would have tried to string that outside. There he planted, got upfield, got the 4 yards. That's a good run for CJ right there.
Coach Meeks usually gets his running backs going. Dowling with 3 receivers left, and now English with the pass, and it is caught by Andrew Bliss near side, and now he's finally brought down in front of the Dowling bench right about the 43 or 4-yard line. And that'll be good enough for a Dowling first down, gain of about 6.
That's a great catch by Andrew. He got up in the air and got that, but better yet to get away from the defender and shake out of it and get a first down. And Dowling's back up on the ball right away.
7-yard gain officially. It's 1st and 10 Maroons. 5.5 minutes remaining first quarter. And now here is the give, and then the tailback. And the read option, English gives it to his tailback, and that is Phillip that's brought down at the point of attack. And he had actually a loss in the play back to the 42, loss of 2.
Some of those Ames numbers are hard to pick up, but I think that was Mike. No, it couldn't have been Mike Brown. It might have been Charles. I couldn't tell. Those numbers are hard to read from up here.
They're blending in. Here's a handoff. Phillip, right side, runs a little stretch play. Gets outside the numbers and out spins back. And he may get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. Up to the 44-yard line where Bliss caught that first down catch. So some of the yards came back.
Yeah, good defense there by the Ames, by the little Cyclones, as they were able to string that play out and not give CJ any room. But Dowling continues to go into hurry-up mode here.
Gain of 1 officially, a 1-yard gain for Phillip. Back to throw English, fires the ball downfield. He's got a man open over the middle at the 30, and nobody will catch him. That is Cooper Nicholson with the score. And I'll tell you what, once again, the Ames defensive secondary confused. Dowling scoring from 47 yards out. And we'll watch the replay here with the CISN folks, Matt. But busted coverage there.
Busted coverage. Cooper got behind the safety, and there was nobody ran with him. And it was an easy, I'm sure English's eyes got pretty big as he saw him open over the middle. And as you can see, there's 10 yards between him and the nearest defender.
4:27 remaining here in the first quarter. Dowling has tacked on another touchdown. It's 13-0 Maroons. Diego Leon in for the extra point. Hagan will snap it. English puts it down. The ball is up, and the kick is good. 14-0 Dowling. We'll take a break. A timeout on the field. Maroons 14 and Ames nothing here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Amazon Smile is a simple way to support Iowa Catholic Radio. When you are shopping on Amazon, consider shopping through Amazon Smile instead. You get all the same great deals, and your order will also help support Iowa Catholic Radio. All you need to do is choose Iowa Catholic Radio as your nonprofit to support when you first log in, and Amazon will do the rest. Every Amazon Smile order you make, Amazon will donate to Iowa Catholic Radio. Support Iowa Catholic Radio while you shop at smile.amazon.com. And thank you for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Has anyone ever told you to pray about it and let you thinking, okay, but how? First, invite the Holy Spirit to be with you as you talk to God. Think about what is going on in your heart and mind. Be honest. Acknowledge to God what you're thinking, feeling, and desiring, because He wants you, the real you. Then, tell Him about what you're experiencing and entrust that to Him. Finally, let the Father love us. Ask yourself, how is God loving me right now? He is loving always. Sometimes we need to stop and think of our blessings, because that is where we can find God.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium as the Maroons go 5 plays and 68 yards, capped off by a 53-yard touchdown pass from Jake English to Cooper Nicholson. And now the ball is kicked in the end zone by Diego Leon. Touchback will be first down Ames at their own 20-yard line as Dowling leads at 14-0. And John Chido, who was more surprised, Cooper Nicholson or Jake English with that wide-open catch for the touchdown?
Well, it was a great read by Jake English. No free safety in the middle of the field. Cooper just had to clear the linebackers, get inside position, and it's exactly what he did. And he still got to put the ball in the right place, and Jake did exactly that. And that's 2 good throws by Jake English, 1 to Carson Brown, and then back with Cooper. And I think it has a lot to do with, like you guys mentioned, when Dowling goes quick like that and the defense has a hard time getting set, especially when you're going from a 2-back situation to an empty backfield. It gets the defense in a disarray.
Well, we've certainly seen that in both cases tonight, and that puts a lot of pressure on the defense, Matt, as we've seen throughout the year. And John's exactly right. All right, Ames with the first down at their own 20-yard line, and Salzer an inside handoff that time. Looked like they showed their running game a little bit, and I'll tell you what, not a whole lot of running room down there.
No, there isn't. And it looks like it's still Deshaun Long in the game there for the little Cyclones as he took the carry with nowhere to run.
Yeah, Long's in there because Poe was injured in that previous series, and he hasn't been back. And, they're going to keep Deshaun Long, number 28, a 5'11 freshman in the backfield with the junior quarterback, Dallas Saucer. Left-hander. He's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, or 2 to the right now. One of them is Phillip. Back to throw Saucer. He looks for Phillip, and the pass is caught. And hog-tying him and running him out of bounds is Joe Reed. That was a mismatch right there.
And Joe Reed, his soccer background, they ain't used to seeing kids that big on the soccer field. No. And he just did an outstanding job right there of getting on him and getting leverage and tossing him out of bounds. The one thing about it, they line Phillips up on the edge every time, so it's getting him out of bounds is the key to it.
So Corey Phillips on the reception for 6 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Ames Little Cyclones. They'll put 3 receivers to the right of the formation as they go left to right here at Valley Stadium. 2 to the left, and now they've got Long in motion. And here's a quick pass, and it's a first down with the catch up to the 35-yard line. They hit the flanker on the inside for Ames, and that was Joe Flannery.
We got a flag in on the play here, and might be the helmet's off, so maybe it's a face mask. I don't know.
We'll see what comes up here. 3:35 remaining second quarter. First quarter, excuse me. Dowling 14-0, and let's see if we can pick up the penalty from our official's mic. And so they penalized Dowling for that. And did they get Joe Hughes?
I think it was. They said 25, so they said Townsend.
Oh, Townsend. Okay,
yep.
One of the linebackers.
And then someone had a little hand on the helmet there and pulled it off.
So the penalty will.
Joe Flannery was the receiver on that.
About a 7-yard gain, enough for a first down. Now the little Cyclones have it at midfield, and they're threatening to go into Dowling territory for the first time tonight. Maroons leading 14-0 here in the first quarter. 3:20 remaining. Game clock continues to run. Dowling showing blitz, and now Ames will do a check with me to their sideline. 5 seconds on the play clock. They run this down. They move long to the left side of the quarterback, and they throw it right, and the pass is incomplete. He overthrew his intended receiver at the bottom of the screen right there, Evan Gray.
I don't know if Jalen Pettis got a hand on that because that ball flew. It's hard to tell from up here, but right now they're playing a game on the edge with Jalen Pettis, and Jalen Pettis is standing up and dancing. The one thing that the offense does have the advantage is by running this clock down. If you notice if you're watching it on the TV, the linemen are sitting down in a 4-point stance. The offensive linemen get to sit in a crouch, and so they have an advantage of not sitting there and seeing the clock, and they know how much time they're going to take off. So they're sitting here for 10 seconds before a snap.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Ashworth Vision, Construction Professionals, and Dental Associates. Here's a pass near side. Caught. Phillips with the catch. Shy of the first down. He's in Dowling territory at the 43-yard line. They're hitting that quick out patterns with him on the right side of the formation.
We got a late flag again.
So the ball is down. Let's see. The line of scrimmage was midfield. And they're going to put the ball down right about the 44.
We get a sideline warning. As you can see at the end of this play, the play goes out of bounds, and the official is getting close to. There's players there and coaches there, and they need them behind the white.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 for Ames. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Salser, the quarterback. Dallas Salser, 6'2", 150-pound junior. His dad's in his first year as a head coach at Ames. Now he does a check with me. 5 seconds on the play clock. Here's the snap, and here's pressure. Saucer has to dump it off, and he does, and that might draw a flag. Incomplete. He didn't get outside the tackle box. Now the officials are on their walkie-talkies to see if anything comes out of this.
Yeah, I think that's got to be a grounding. No, they're going to.
No flag.
No flag.
It's going to bring up
Matabrua gave
4th and
was
3.
First one on the pressure there. He just got loose and really made a nice play on the quarterback there, Matabrua.
Certainly did. Well, Johnny, the Dowling defense will go down to you while we have a moment here because they're going to take another 15 seconds to snap it. Tremendous play by the Dowling defense, and as Matt mentioned, Matabrua that time.
Yeah, they're able to pin their ears back, and they're putting a lot of pressure, and they're doing a lot of false blitzes and guys, a lot of movement there.
Tucker with the punt. The freshman kicks it out of bounds once again. It doesn't want the Maroons returning it, and Dowling will have it 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line with 2:48 remaining here in the first quarter. Dowling 14 and Ames nothing here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, and we want to thank some more of our supporters here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network, including Northwest Bank, Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization. Our thanks to Kemen and Mercy One. Alongside Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Amadale, and John Chido on the Dowling sideline. Of course, we want to thank the folks from the Central Iowa Sports Network. Justin Wolber as Townsend now the ball carrier for Dowling, and Adam gets his first carry deep in his own territory, but he can't turn it upfield. Tried to go over the right side, and he's brought down, no gain.
Yeah, he's a touchdown machine, but right there he didn't have much room. As we go back through the last few weeks, the young man has been able to get some scores in, and he's He's 7 rushes, 70 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Just for you, I was
that's
going
a
to
pretty good average.
And 3 touchdowns, yeah, just for him. And now here's a handoff, and that's Townsend again, and he squirts through the 30. He's got the first down. No gain the first time, and he's maintaining that almost 10-yard average, Matt, with the first down carry there over the left guard.
He's got sneaky speed because he just gets up in there and saw a crease and accelerated through the hole, and he's not easy to bring down. He's a big-framed kid. And he gets in there and has a nice run.
Dante Cataldo at quarterback. He wants to throw, fires the ball out, caught by Cooper Nicholson, gets outside the numbers, and he's driven out of bounds at the 50-yard line. A pickup of 17 yards and a Dowling first down. I got to ask, John Chido is going to break in here during the script. What did you have Townsend play as 8th grade? We got to go back to some of these guys as seniors. Hey, Coach, where'd you guys put Townsend at as an 8th grader?
Well, Adam didn't play with us 8th grade because he had to go to. He was in Martinsdale, so. He wasn't able to play. He played in the Catholic Football League up until his 8th grade year.
See, we just got caught up. They found a place for him. Thank you, Mr. Chido, for that report. And now here is a handoff again to Townsend, and Adam goes between the right guard and center and bowls his way down to the 47-yard line of Ames.
He, is dancing in there and just staying behind those big linemen, and Adam's able to get up in there and get a nice gain. The one thing that Ames is doing is they're bringing a lot of guys. They got 7 guys, within a yard of the line of scrimmage. They are bringing a lot of bodies up to stop the run. That's why they're seeing a lot of one-on-one matchups.
Yep, gain of 4, so it's 2nd and 6, and now the give is to Townsend once again, and he's tripped up at the Ames 45 and falls forward down to the 42 for a gain of 4.
Adam, and then now on this drive, Dowling's sitting there, we're going to run the ball. Townsend's proved that he's going to grind some yards out. Now we got C.J. Phillip coming back in the game. Just a good show of mixture in this offense right now.
Well, guess who's coming in to play in the backfield? Big number 55, Jalen Pettis.
There we go.
And now they got the pistol formation with Cataldo at quarterback, 1 receiver to the left, tight end on the right. And it's going to be
C.J., I think.
It's going to be, the Wildcat, and C.J. Phillip gets the first down. He crossed the 40-yard line, so a 2, maybe 3-yard. It is a 3-yard gain for C.J. Phillip. So different formation, different look for Dowling.
When coaches do this stuff, they get into a game and you run a formation and a set just to make the other team, as you go down the road, practice it and those are distractors.
Yeah. When you see a running back in there, do you really think he's going to throw it? Well, most time they don't. Waddle back to throw, fires out, caught by Cooper Nicholson, run the post pattern over the middle at the 20-yard line. Gain of 19 and a Dowling first down on a bullet pass from Dante Cataldo.
They found that spot over the middle, and that time the defender was in the area. Just a really nice pass from Cataldo as he hit him in stride, and that looks like that's going to be the last play of the quarter.
It is. The final seconds tick off the clock. We've come to the end of the first quarter here on Senior Night and Parents' Night here at Dowling Catholic High School at Valley Stadium. Dowling 14, Ames nothing. We've come to the end of the first quarter. Back to the second quarter in 1 minute here on the Central Iowa Sports Network and Iowa Catholic Radio.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium as we're underway here in the second quarter, along with Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale, and our guest arrived.
Yeah.
Mr. O'Hare. This is the good O'Hare. This is Ryan. This is Ryan and Sean. I like those guys.
I know Mom, so I think City would say they're all good. So
yeah, well, of course.
Don't start that, Mark.
First and 10 from the 21. Back to throw Cataldo. Fires in the end zone, looking for Carson Brown. He overthrew him, incomplete, and Carson had double coverage there, led by DeAndre Isaac in the backfield for Ames, but the pass was a little overthrown, incomplete, and bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, a little overthrown, and they had better coverage on that one. You go to the well a lot, and they finally had 2 guys back there in coverage for the little Cyclones as Cataldo trying to go to the guy that can go up there and get it for him, and that's Carson Brown.
Well, he found that out last week. 3 touchdown receptions for Carson Brown. Here's a pistol formation. The give is to Townsend, left side, still on his feet, and he keeps his feet moving inside the 15. And Adam Townsend, yes, he started at linebacker tonight for Dowling, down to the 13-yard line of Ames.
An outstanding run by Adam, and he's jumping over guys. He's feeling it right now. He's grinding out, and that offensive line is just plowing some holes for him into that Ames defense. And Rockers and Batterton and Bagintoss and Carey and Nahas are getting it done up front.
All right, Cataldo out of the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers left, Cooper Nicholson, and now Cataldo will run it the opposite way as the receiver split out left. Cataldo runs it right, gets a block downfield from George Nahas and gets inside the 10. They say he gets down at the 8 for a gain of 5.
He did. Nice run, nice read there by Cataldo as he got out and got around the corner, and Dante is making plays, and he's looking more comfortable every snap he gets. He looks more comfortable at that quarterback position.
All right, the Maroons will split out a receiver to the left. That is Cooper Nicholson, wide left. 2 tight ends. And here's the snap. They run it left side, and that is Townsend finding a hole in the seam, gets inside the 5, and he fights his way down inside the 3-yard line for a gain of 5.
What Townsend does so well is he just gets behind that line and digs away, and Dowling is going hurry up right here.
They certainly are. Here's a snap, give to Townsend. He puts his head down. He's diving towards the goal line. Touchdown, Adam Townsend from 3 yards out. And the Maroons put up their 3rd touchdown here in the first half. They now lead it 20-0 over Ames with 10:31 to play here in the second quarter, Matt.
That play was called ST in Sheldon. ST because we said same thing. We yelled from the sidelines.
Oh, you coaches are complicated,
it's deep
aren't
thinkers, yeah. Well, you're dealing with kids. You just got to get it right. Ran the same exact play for a touchdown.
The Maroons scoring twice in the air in the first quarter, now once on the ground here in the second quarter, and Diego Leon's extra point is good. And it's 21-0 Dowling. We'll take a break with the timeout on the field. 10:31 remaining, second quarter. Dowling 21, Ames nothing here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by CTO. What great news for donors to the Catholic Tuition Organization. You now receive 75%. Yes, 75% of your donation back in Iowa tax credits beginning January 1st of this year. Your support has helped thousands of students attend our Catholic schools. Best gift ever. Online, ctoiowa.org. At CTO, the bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium alongside Matt Mainring, Mark Amadale, John Chido on the Dowling sideline as the Maroons now lead it 21-0 over Ames. There's a kickoff by Leon. Angles it for the left side, and does it go in the end zone? It doesn't. It retrieving it from the 1 yard line, and he brings it out to about the 20-21 yard line. That's where the little Cyclones will take over, 1st and 10. And we're going to keep it up here, John, for a moment. We got special guests in the house. Ryan O'Hare. Thanks for coming. You got your son Colin with you, and welcome to the broadcast.
Absolutely. Fun to be up here to see you guys in action.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the one that shelled out all that money at that, what was it, some kind of, was it an auction?
Dowling auction. Dowling auction. Lifetime pass, sports pass.
Is that the Carolyn Kirchhoff talked into that, huh?
That's right.
That was the 2021 Dowling Bash. I remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of nephews, nieces, kids of my own, so hopefully it'll be a pass well used in the next 20 years or so.
Well, we appreciate your support as we have an opportunity to have you on here tonight on Iowa Catholic Radio, and what a game we have as Dowling out to 21-0 lead. Here's Saucer's pass to Phillips again and gets across the 20, and maybe a couple yards. Maroon's really keying on him, Matt.
They are, and right there, they were able to get to his feet and take him down a little quicker that time. Always on the outside, always close to the sideline. There, they try to get a block in and free him up, but the Maroons are right there.
That brings up 2nd down and 2. They'll give him a gain of 2 up to the 22-yard line. Ryan, you're from a long list of O'Haras,
right.
And one of them I know maybe too well, and that's your brother Kevin, and he gets way too much publicity, especially when he's near me. I don't know what that's
he does. It's the black sheep, but he's the one who's kind of front and center with Dowling Athletics, so got to take it with stride, I guess.
He says he can beat both his brothers in basketball. And now here's a nice catch by Ames as Saucer hooks up on a nice pass that time to Evan Gray. And I'll tell you what, you can't draw that up any better,
No,
Matt.
Evan Gray lays out a little bit for that one, stretched out and got it. And the 6 foot, 181-pound senior from Ames has 163 yards in the year. And here we see it. Here we see the replay on TV, and he made a nice grab for it. The one thing about it, we have time to talk because they're going to run the clock down.
They run the clock down. We got 10 seconds here. We know that. That's a 19-yard gain and Ames first down.
Oh, there they went early.
And here's a little swing pass to the near side, and Saucer hooks up with the flanker over there. Now they're going to start airing it out as they've been trying to do that all night, and finally they complete it to Jalen Luth for the first time tonight.
And again, the Dowling defense rallied, and they're keeping them in front of them there. And allowed the first down, bend not break mentality. Joe Reed out here at this corner and making sure he keeps everything in front of him.
10-yard gain by Luth. First down Ames at the Dowling 49. As Saucer with 2 receivers right and 2 to the left. He'll work out of the shotgun. Dallas Saucer with the snap, and he throws it into a crowd, and it's caught. Nice catch that time by Evan Gray again. And he's inside the 45 of Dowling, down near the 43.
It's a frustrating night for the defensive line because they're sitting there and they don't have any time to get back there and get it to quarterback as Saucer is getting rid of that ball quick. It's 1-2 and the ball is out. And they're just trying to get their hands up now. That's the big thing, is get your hands up, see if you can tip the ball.
Get a deflection, absolutely. Yep. All right, it is 2nd and 2 for Ames. Ball's on the Dowling 41. Saucer with 3 receivers on the near side to the bottom of your screen and 1 to the top, and that's Phillip. Here's the snap, and the end around, and the handoff goes to the tailback. Let's see which one that is. That might be Long in there, as we haven't seen Poe since that second series, and Long with a short gain of 1.
Might be enough for the first down. Looks like they're going to give it to him, and that's going to move the chains.
Down to the 39-yard line, so Long, a gain of 2. What kind of play would you call that, Matt? That was kind of leading the other way.
Yeah, it's a little inside counter and all the motion. The guy in motion is going the other way. You come back with the slot back and run that counter trap outside the tackle.
7:50 remaining in the first half. 21-0 Dowling over Ames. The little Cyclones now will let that play clock run under 5 seconds. It's 1st and 10, little Cyclones from the 39 of Dowling, and now Long in motion. Here's a pass near side that's incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Mr. O'Hare, your brother says that he can take both of you on in basketball and not a problem.
Kevin's been 5'5" for all of the last 15 years, and maybe 15 years ago. But you grow up, you put a little muscle on, Mark. Kevin doesn't stand a chance on either one of us now.
Word has it in that small gym there's quite some battles between he and the outstanding All-American at Iowa, Caitlin Clark. And
they've had a good relationship the last couple of years. I know he's thought highly of her. I know him, and it's been fun to see her progress and
I'm
be
guessing,
a standout up
I said, I hear you lost a 3-point contest, and I don't hear much from him. Now Ames quarterback Saucer couldn't find anybody open. Great job by the Dowling secondary there, Matt Mandering, and a sack in the backfield for the Maroons.
Yeah, Carson Hagan, he is he's a bundle of energy when he gets out there. He'll be something to see when he's on the wrestling mat this year too.
Wrestling guy
here you can see the replay, and Carson chases him down and gets some back points. He's going to get some back points on that? No, he just take down.
So, Mark, Matt, I got to ask, are there any studs on Dowling offense, defense that have some good looks anywhere? Division I, II, or what's the story there?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, Jalen Pettis is going to be the one that's has a big upside, and I imagine Carson Brown would get some looks at some level, and you never know with some kids where they might end up.
All right, Ames runs the flanker screen to Flannery, and the completion from Saucer to Flannery may give them a first down. It does. They spot him down inside the 30, down to the Dowling 26-yard line.
it's always interesting going off that. You take Jack Kerner, who's at Iowa right now. He had that offer to go to South Dakota State, but he chose to walk on at Iowa, and that's paid off quite well. And Hummel, I believe he set a record this weekend. I believe at the most. I don't remember what it was. Most snaps, most games yep. on defense for the Cyclones.
Been playing since he's a freshman.
Is it Wagner on the O-lines?
Yep, defensive line.
For Iowa, yeah. He'll be playing tomorrow.
Yep.
So, Ryan O'Hare is sitting in with us tonight, his son Colin, as they won the 2021 Dowling Bash. And we're going to take a break here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN. Timeout on the field, 6:02 remaining here in the first half, 21-0 Dowling over Ames. Back after these messages.
Listen to Man Up with Joe Stopulos Monday mornings at 9 on Iowa Catholic Radio and on demand at iowacatholicradio.com and the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment. Whether it's in the classroom or at home, Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium on senior night for Dowling Catholic. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido, and we're joined by Ryan O'Hare and his son Colin, as they were the 2021 Dowling Bash winners, to sit in on a radio broadcast of Dowling football. And you waited this long, huh? I'll tell you. You waited this long, Ryan. As Ames now out of the timeout, ball's deflected and incomplete. Good pressure that time by the Maroons. And was that Pettis on a deflection?
Yeah, I think, that's what we talked about a little bit ago, is those defensive linemen aren't going to have time to get to him, but so the way you can disrupt the play is by getting your hands up and in the vision. And here we see the replay on CISN, and Jalen Pettis, I don't know if he got a hand on it, but he made the quarterback throw it out of bounds.
That's a big guy coming at the quarterback.
Yeah, it is.
That'll hurry your throw.
Hurry your throw anytime really quickly.
This will be the 10th play of the Ames drive that started back at their own 26-yard line. Dowling 21, Ames nothing. As Ames has used their second timeout of the first half. They have one remaining, Dowling with all three. And now here is a little jet sweep. This is Flannery on the end around, trying to turn upfield, and he gets outside and no play. And I think, is that a flag or somebody lost a piece of equipment there at the 30-yard line, Matt?
That's a flag. Originally, I thought that was going to be a pass. I thought it was going to be the old.
Teams have Dowling scouted. They've given up the Philly special and the flea flicker. Yeah. So you just wonder. Johnson ran. We'll get the call. The penalty is on Devin Settle, the tight end, number 10 for Ames, and that'll back him up. They're calling for holding, it looks like.
Yeah, holding, and it was behind the line of scrimmage quite a ways. So this is really a big penalty that pushes them back a long ways. And, this is how teams get into trouble against the Maroons. You had that pressure. You try to do a little trick play in there, and it just backfired completely, and now it's 2nd and 23.
All right, Flannery now is in the slot right as they run two receivers right, two to the left. Ames going right to left, south to north here at Valley Stadium on a beautiful night, 79 degrees at game time, one of the warmest October games I can remember. 21-0 Dowling. Flannery, a little quick pass. It's incomplete as he tried a little quick hitter to the left of the formation, and the receiver couldn't hang on to it. He was well covered that time, Evan Gray.
Yeah, Joe Hughes came up and hit him just when the ball got there. Great timing by Joe, and knocked the ball out and creates this 3rd and long situation, and probably 4-down territory for the Ames with the score being 21-0. You got to think they're going to probably take 2 shots at it here.
Ames now, as we talked about, they take a lot of time between plays. They let that play clock run down. It's approaching 10 seconds right now. Maroons leading 21-0. This is 3rd and 23 for Ames from the Dowling 39. Now Flannery puts his tail back to the left of him. He sends a man in motion, and that's Settle. Back to throw Flannery, sets up in the pocket, fires downfield, and he overthrew his receiver, incomplete, and took a shot that time from the Dowling defender. That'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that was a big hit there. It looked like Kellen Shimon. Kellen Shimon was sitting back there just waiting and got there at the same time as the ball did, just over his head, and laid a hit on Joe Flannery.
Ryan O'Hare, you work for a company in West Des Moines, Boyle Capital. Is that right?
That's right. Investment firm out in West Des Moines. Small world. George Boyle was my dean of students when I was in high school.
Oh, yeah.
So I knew of George before I started working with Brian. Brian Boyle is the principal of the firm, but been there 7-8 years, and it's been a great 7-8 years at that.
Well, George's other son is now the AD at Waukee High School.
Waukee, yeah.
There's a punt by Ames, and it's picked up by Cooper Nicholson at the 10. There's a Sacred Heart kid running the ball back. Gets across the 15 up about the 18-yard line.
Sacred Heart, they've always produced those athletic, skilled positions.
Well,
there you
sure.
go, Cooper.
There you are. Oh, yeah, always.
Matt, Mark, what's the playoff picture look like here for Dowling?
Matt's got it over there.
It's
too early to call.
Yeah,
it's too early to call.
It's right now Dowling's in that 14th slot, but there's a lot of teams ahead of them that are likely to end up with a loss here over the next couple of weeks, and so there's a lot of juggling going on. A lot to be on the line next week.
They release it every week on the Iowa High School Network or webpage. I'm sorry, and it tells you who's all in. In 5A, they just take the top 16, and now Maroons with the first down at their own 17-yard line. They put the ball on the ground for a short gain across the 20 up to the 23-yard line, right?
The top 16, is that new as of the last
this year?
This year, okay.
Yeah. They use an RPI formula, similar to what they use in basketball and college football.
Where does Dowling fit right now if the season were to end?
We would be traveling to City High again to play. Now we've got a
timeout. Dowling went out in a 5-wide formation and forced them to call a timeout.
We're going to keep it here if that's all right with you guys. I got to look at the TV side. I got to check with people.
Yeah,
it's like going home. I got to check.
Yeah.
Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido. 5:04 remaining here in the second quarter, first half. Dowling 21, Ames nothing, and we're joined by Ryan O'Hare and his son Colin, who was one of the bidders on the bash on Buffalo Road.
That's
My
right.
goodness, I noticed your brother didn't bid on this. He just figures he's going to get an invitation from me someday.
He's that kind of guy. He just rides the coattails of the other O'Hare brothers. He'll find his way in somewhere.
Matt, I don't know if he's going to tell this or he can, but Kevin O'Hare, you're a freshman basketball coach. You're the principal now.
Yeah, I know.
Can you talk about him watching Father Hess's house while he was gone for a while? Can you bring
Is
that
Father
story?
Hess here or listening?
Well, I think
let's check the sidelines here.
Father Hess, for some reason.
Father Hess is on the sideline.
Yes,
okay, good deal. So he won't hear this. Father Hess
this.
And my mother, Cindy, who was up at Dowling for 20-some years, close friends, and Father Hess had Kevin and I watch the house when he was out of town once. More Kevin than I, but
once.
Here we go. This is going to get better. He's setting this up pretty well.
Yeah, we'll let you guys call this real quick.
All right, and here is Dowling with the football, and here's Jalen Thompson, a little tight end around. He stays in bounds, dances on the sideline. They're going to put him out of bounds at the 36. He'll gain 13 for the big tight end.
Yeah.
Kevin calls me up. He says, Ryan, you got to come over here. I screwed something up. And I come over. He's supposed to be staying the night there, right? Dog sitting. I get in there. It looked like Kevin threw a party. The dog must have ate 2 or 3 TV remotes. The TV was off the wall.
This is in Father Hess's house.
Father Hess.
That you're watching.
Supposed to be watching, Mark. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
So I said, Kevin, I'm not part of this. You're taking the rap for this one.
And here's a play right up the
Cam,
gut. And
Cam
Middleton is inside the 40, and he's going to go. Cam Middleton trucking down the near sideline. Touchdown, Dowling. Wow, that is a 64-yard run for Cam, and that is a slow developing play there, Matt.
It was. You're going to see it on the replay, too, but it was a slow developing play. Cam off the right side, dives through the middle, and he outran everybody, and you're not going to – one ankle is not going to get him. And Cam was a beautiful run.
Well, we got to get our sideline reporter in here. John, I know we've been interviewing Ryan, but here that was a slow developing play just over right guard and tackle with the play, Johnny.
Yeah, it sure was, and it's kind of like I don't know if you call it a play action type deal, but it's a kind of a play action run type play where it's kind of almost like a draw play. You get the linebackers to bite one way, and Cam comes the other way. So it was basically a slow developing counter.
Yes, it was. Well, 28-0 as Diego Leon added the extra point. 28-0 Dowling over Ames. Back in 1 minute with 4:46 remaining here in the second quarter, and Dowling with the lead. We'll return after these messages.
This is a Young Catholic Minute.
Why do I have to go to confession?
Whoa, when are you going to take all that garbage out?
I don't have to.
But
I don't want to go tell the garbage man about this. He's not a fiery furnace to burn away all my garbage. He's just a man.
if we let the garbage of sin build up in our souls, life gets pretty disgusting. So it's good that Christ told his apostles, whose sins you forgive are forgiven them, whose sins you retain are retained. That way, Christ's forgiveness of sins won for us on Calvary comes to us even today through the successors of the apostles, Catholic priests. So when we go to confession, we gain the gift of humility by having to speak our sins aloud. Then we receive counsel, and finally, through the mercy of God, we hear the priest say the words that Christ has given him to speak in his name. I absolve you from your sins. Go in peace. And that is pretty cool. For more, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
And we're back here at the Valley Stadium. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and John Chido. Dowling tacks on another touchdown. Cam Middleton on a 64-yard run. And the extra point good by Diego Leon. Diego tonight, 4 for 4 in extra points. He's 19 for 19 on the season. And the kickoff by Diego.
Oh, it's going to stay
in. Stays in bounds. Good kickoff. It took a bounce at the 1 and stayed in, and now down there. It's a free ball and down by Ames finally right around the 4-yard line. How about that?
Yeah, earlier you said, why did he pick that one up? Because all of them have landed right in that 2-yard zone there. And you've seen this sometime, even at the professional level. They'll sit there and let the ball goes over his head, and that ball just died.
Yeah, perfect spin. And
Coach Ramey, I'm sure he got that coached up just right?
Coach Rami does a great job with that.
Yeah.
And, John Chido, you can see the extra, well, I'd say Diego's got that down very well.
Kind of like your wedge shot, Mark, on, was it number 10 at Waveland, that 200-yard par 3 with, I don't know, you don't have anything more than the driver, but.
Johnny, I haven't been out in that par 3 at Waveland since I caddied for my dad back in the late 70s. Why would you bring that up?
Because you'd be the only one that could put that much spin on a ball and play maybe once every 10 years.
Yeah, that's right. Special outings. Thanks, John. Was that a report or that was just a comment? And now, quick pass over the middle, incomplete. Flannery Ames back at their own end zone. It'll be second down and 10 from their own 4-yard line.
Tried to go over the middle, and Adam Townsend got a hand on it, almost batted it up to himself, and knocks the ball away, and you're in second down right here.
Ames at their back to the wall, 3 receivers left, and 2 to the right. We're also having part of this broadcast tonight, Ryan O'Hare and his son Colin, who part of the. They do that every year, the bash on Buffalo. They put us up.
You asked Carolyn when you got her at halftime.
I will, because she is. We're talking pancakes here in about 5 minutes. We'll have to see. And now Ames letting that game clock or play clock run down inside 5. Second and 10, Little Cyclones, 4.5 remaining. Here's the snap and a quick pass, and that's Phillip. Dances around. He's got the first down. He's run out of bounds about the 15-yard line. That's a pickup of 11, and that's what Ames needed.
There's a flag on the play, and now I think there's another flag on the play. So I think there was a flag at the snap, and then there's a flag late.
This could be a mess. We'll let them sort it out. So, Ryan, you got to continue that. Ryan O'Hare is our guest, and continue that conversation. House sitting for Monsignor Hess. Who's here, by the way?
House sitting for Monsignor Hess. He comes home. Kevin O'Hare's let Father Hess's dog run wild. Missing remotes. Vase is broken.
How many hours?
Just like back in the day when Mom and Dad would come home from dinner or something, we had to pay the piper. Kevin had to tell Father Hess what happened. And
how many hours of jug did you and your brother surf with that one?
Mark, I can only speak for myself. 0 hours of jug. Kevin, not so much.
Was there a fine involved? There had to be some kind of fine. I mean, my goodness.
No, bless Father Hess's heart. He took it easy on us, and now it's just a funny story we tell between us. And Always fun throwing Kevin on the bus when we can, though.
Do you let your brother watch his nephew, your son here, for house sitting or, just babysitting purposes?
Kevin is a wonderful uncle. He's not the babysitting material. So
that's not in the script here, Ryan. That's not what I wrote down for you to
he's
say.
Great. He's great for the Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, backyard football, basketball, stuff like that. Not babysitting material just yet, though.
I love the guy. Kevin's tremendous. And so's the O'Hare family. Now penalty flag down as Souser rolls to his right, left-handed quarter, and he just dumped it off out of bounds. The pass is incomplete.
I have a feeling there's a hold that was pretty blatant there, so you'll be able to see it as they talk through this here.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, what year did you graduate Dowling?
So I was 98.
Okay, and your brother Kevin was what year?
Kevin was 96.
96.
So
Sean?
Twin sister. Kelly and I were 98. She's a second grade teacher over at Sacred Heart, and then Sean was 2000.
Okay.
So all basketball players, soccer, baseball.
So Kevin's the oldest. That's just what I want to be perfectly sure of here, right?
Kevin was the oldest.
Mm-hmm. That's why he and I sometimes clash, because I'm the oldest of my family. So we clash of all the Amadeus, Father Amadeo.
No, we had plenty of Amadeus when I was through there.
Oh, yeah.
Now you can see in the replay right there that they just grabbed Jalen Pettis from behind and got the hold. So half the distance to the goal and makes it 1st and 22.
4:21 remaining in the half. Carolyn Kirchhoff will join us, the events manager at Dowling, at halftime. Talk pancakes coming up and open house.
It's a busy month.
Yeah, late October and early November.
Yeah.
And now Saucer back to throw, fires it out. It's caught right inside outside the 10-yard line. They're going to spot him out of bounds at the 11 after the penalty.
So a short gain, maybe a 1-yard gain, if any, on that, and on that quick out. And Ames is back here with their back against the wall late in the first half.
Yeah, they're down. They don't have any timeouts remaining, and it's 2nd and 16 Ames. Dowling leading 28-0. And their little Cyclones without a tailback. And, of course, their starting tailback went out with an injury, we think, about second series. And that was their young freshman, Jamison Poe, who hasn't played since. Man in motion, so they have 4 on one side. And now here's a little dump-off pass. Flannery has it. He's got the first down, and more. He's in the secondary of Dowling at the 30 and finally run down at the 40-yard line. Nice little dump-off that time. Joe Flannery with the reception, the 6'1 senior.
Well-designed play by the little Cyclones. They run him in motion across the formation, then he ducks back under with the little inside screen. And you get the replay here on CISN. He dumps back into that inside screen, and he had blockers downfield for him and a lot of room to run.
29-yard gain by Ames. It gives them a first down at their own 40-yard line. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Dowling 28-0 over the Little Cyclones here on senior night and parents' night for Dowling Catholic High School on a warm night here at Valley Stadium in Week 7. Back to throw is Saucer. Fires out. The ball is tipped and nearly intercepted. Tipped not once and almost gathered in twice. And it rolls to the ground, fortunately for the Little Cyclones, incomplete.
You see Mata walking back, and he's going, how did I not get to the quarterback right there? That was as long as he's had in the pocket. He had a long time in the pocket, throws it over the middle, and the ball ricochets off a couple guys and falls to the ground.
So, Ryan, you're a big Dowling supporter and an alumni, I'm gathering.
That's right. We come out here a couple times for the football games, and we'll go support Kevin coaching freshmen and stay for the women's and men's varsity games as well.
Yeah, it's always a good time in the winter, especially when we can get out.
Absolutely.
There's a little flanker screen. This one to Phillips again, but this time he's brought down at the line of scrimmage, and they've been working that. They set that up with, I think they got a flanker or slot receiver that's supposed to block, and that time it all fell apart.
Yeah, they do, and they get that block for Phillips out there, and then he tries to barrel over people, and there Dowling was rallied to the ball, and no gain.
So to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Little Cyclones. Ball's on their own 40-yard line. They go right to left, south to north. They have the wind at their back here in the second quarter with Dowling leading 28-0. Now they'll do a check with me. Now we've got motion and penalty flags. Laundry flying, so we've got a penalty on the play. And they're going to call procedure against the Little Cyclones. That'll be a 5-yard loss. Well, Ryan O'Hare, anybody want to give a shout-out to? And is Colin going to talk?
Colin, what do you got to say? Any shout-out to any of your friends?
You say hi to Sacred Heart? Any teacher?
Hi, Sacred Heart.
Hi, Sacred Heart. Anybody else?
Say go Dowling, or what do you got to say?
Go Dowling.
You want to say hi to Uncle Kevin?
Hi, Uncle Kevin.
There you go.
I think that made somebody's night.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, hope you have fun here tonight. You go down with Coach Chido on the sideline. He'll give you a tour about how to stay away from the big guys. That's dangerous.
Well, Harris never had the body type for football, so that's about as close as we get down there on the sideline.
3rd and 15 for Ames, and now they're going to swing it out to the outside the formation. Flannery with the catch, and he's run out of bounds shy of the first down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 10, but they needed a lot more than that.
Yeah. He ended up catching that ball just. I thought we had a penalty there for a second, but he catches that ball. Oh, they are bringing this back.
You did see a penalty flag. You were not wrong. Let's go down on the Dowling sideline, and that is where John Chido's at. And I'll tell you what, Johnny, this drive started back on the Ames 4. It went back to the Ames 4 due to penalties, and now they're trending that way again. Well, we got to catch up with John.
John, I think he's trying.
Ryan O'Hare, thank you for being here tonight. Thanks for all you do in supporting Dowling Catholic High School and the Bash on Buffalo Road. That'll be coming up this spring. I know you'll be there. And
absolutely. This was fun, guys. Fun seeing you guys in your element, and appreciate you guys letting us come up and hang out for a little bit.
Thanks for the stories. Right. Colin?
Go Dowling.
There you go.
Thanks, guys. You have a good night. We'll give the booth back to you here.
Little Colin O'Hare on the move there. All right. Thank you, guys. And Pettis with the stop as Ames now does a little, let's see the replay here on CISN. But
Pettis got around the corner there untouched and straight to Saucer, and Saucer didn't have much time.
Yeah, Saucer set up. He had Flannery in motion. He looked once, and here comes Pettis, and this time Jalen got him with the sack back at the 15.
Yeah, that was quick.
And remember, this drive started back at the 4-yard line, and now it got to the 40.
It was about a 80-yard drive going forward and backward as we went through this here.
Hey, Johnny, you with us? I probably had to change your batteries, but this has been an unusual drive for Ames. They've had the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, they sure have. And like what I was going to say, I apologize, my microphone wasn't on, and I didn't realize that. But have you ever seen a ball game where the offense puts up 28 points, but the defense has been on the field for so long because Ames runs, like you said, runs that play clock down, and then with the penalties and stuff and back and forth, and they've had some great plays and just been undisciplined at times that set them back. And they're using a lot of those screen passes really effective in the tempo when they get in the rhythm with the quarterback and receivers to be able to throw those short stop patterns that have been really impressive. But unfortunately for Ames, the penalties have just put them behind the sticks and continues to do so, and that's not good for their offense.
No, it isn't. As the freshman Charles Tucker in to punt for Ames in his first varsity punts of the year, and he's had several here in the first half.
I think that, as John was talking right there, it makes you think about it. I just think it gets their offense out of rhythm when they're waiting to run that play clock down. I understand what they're trying to do, but I think it works against them a little bit.
Yeah. All right, here's the snap, and the punt's away by Tucker. It's a short punt and angling out of bounds towards the Ames sideline, and Dowling will take over. 2:32 remaining here in the first half, and Dowling leading 28-0 over the Ames Little Cyclones alongside Matt Maynard and Mark Amadale. Our thanks to Ryan O'Hare and his son Colin from Sacred Heart School in West Des Moines, one of the Bash on Buffalo Road winners this past spring, and he selected this game, senior night, to be out here with you and I and Mr. Chido. I think he's heading down to Mr. Chido, and he may want to avoid Monsignor Hess, who's here.
Yeah, he may want to.
After that story.
Next time I see Monsignor Hess, I'm going to ask him, has the O'Hares watched your house lately? Maybe.
This is going back.
It's going back a little ways,
It's going back. I think Monsignor probably forgot about that. Maybe he hasn't.
I doubt it. You don't forget those things.
All right, Dowling with the ball, and here's a pass. It's incomplete. Yeah. English had his man wide open again, the tight end, Thompson. Jalen had a nice run of 13 yards earlier, and he dropped the pass at the 20. Incomplete. I don't think anybody's around him.
No one's around him, and that's a hard catch over your shoulder when it's straight in line, and right there the quarterback is straight in line with the receiver. When that kid has to look back over his back, directly back, that's a tough catch. And but it's one that Jalen, he's going to tell you himself he should have caught that, and he was thinking 6 points.
All right, 2:27 remaining in the half. 2nd and 10 Dowling. English back to throw. Maroons want to air it out. He fires it near side. The pass is caught. Cooper Nicholson with the catch at the Ames 35. And he'll be shy of the first down as he gets it down. About an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
right now the Dowling offense is focused on, Coach Wilson is saying this is the time to practice our 2-minute offense. Let's get the play in quick, get things moving. We have plenty of time, 2 minutes inside the 40.
All right, Jake English back at quarterback. He and Dante Cataldo have shared that position. 2 receivers left. English back to throw, and he dumps it off over the middle, and the pass is deflected and incomplete, and the penalty flag down right at the 40-yard line, and this may be coming back.
Yeah, we'll see what they call here. Usually in the place of holding, yep. And you got to think they're going to take the penalty, even though it would have been 4th down. It would have been 4th and 3 or 4th and 2. So they're going to move him back and make it a 3rd and looks like about 13.
Rockers, the left tackle for Dowling, guilty of the penalty.
3rd and 16.
They're going to keep moving up near midfield.
Yeah. 3rd and 18.
They'll move it back to the Dowling 49-yard line.
It's a spot foul behind the line of scrimmage, and so that's why it gets moved back a little farther.
Minute 52 remaining. Dowling with 2 timeouts. Pistol formation for English. Back to throw. English looking left. Throws it left. Airs it out. He's got a man open underneath it. And caught by Cooper Nicholson. Touchdown Dowling. 51 yards. A beautiful pass from Jake English to Cooper Nicholson.
That is one of the best throws Jake has thrown all year. He dropped that right in the bucket. And as a quarterback, you throw that deep ball, and you're talking about throwing it right in the bucket, and he did. Caught Cooper Nicholson right in stride because they were going, side by side, the defender and the receiver down the field.
Right.
And Cooper Nicholson outruns it, drops it right in there. Great throw.
And I think Justin will pull up the replay here in a moment. You watch it on CISN, but a well-timed play and well-thrown ball by Jake English. Extra point now by Diego Leon as we watch the touchdown, and caught in the end zone for the score. Now penalty flags down on the extra point, and this may be coming back. Are they going to count it?
I think if the kick was good, they'll take it.
It was. Sure. 35-0. The kick is good by Diego Leon. So with 1:43 remaining in the first half, 35-0 Dowling over Ames. Back in 1 minute here on the Central Iowa Sports Network and the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. How many times have you heard someone talk about how important it is to be progressive? Have you ever asked them what they mean by that? G.K. Chesterton says, progress is a useless word, for progress takes for granted an already defined direction, and it's exactly about the direction that we disagree. We can't have progress until we've stated what our goal is, and then we can determine whether or not we're moving closer to it or farther from it. The real question is not whether we are progressive, but what is our goal? My goal is to get to heaven and to help others get there too. What's yours? Want Chesterton for more than a minute? Visit our website at chesterton.org.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium on a beautiful night here in West Des Moines. Dowling 35, Ames nothing. So we'll have the running clock for the final 1:43 of the first half. And Matt, you got a few scores you can chime in.
I did. I think Lincoln and Valley was a 14-14 game at one point in the first quarter, and then at half it's 42-14.
Oh, things changed.
So Valley flexed their muscle there in that as the game went on. Southeast Polk up 14-7 over the Prairie Hawks, Cedar Rapids Prairie. And that was really the only game between ranked opponents, wasn't it? I believe was that Southeast Polk game.
Southeast Polk game out in Eastern Iowa taking on Cedar Rapids Prairie. Here's a kickoff. Dowling was assessed a personal foul on the PAT, and they'll have to kick it deep in their own territory. And now returned by Ames across the 20, up to across the 25, maybe the 28-yard line. That's where Ames will start. We'll have the running clock here in the final moments. Ames without any timeouts. And John Chido, what a drive by the Maroons on that play. 3 plays, 51 yards. Cooper Nicholson on the 51-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Jake English.
Yeah, and it was a tremendous throw by Jake English. He put it right on the money. I mean, Matt's right. That's one of his best throws we've seen all year. And the patience he had, because that's a slow developing route. That's a double move route and to the middle, and Jake, he did. He put it right on the money and right over the defender. It was just a great throw.
Cooper with a tremendous catch. as we've seen out of him. Cooper Nicholson, a Dowling junior, and has had a tremendous season thus far. And Maroon's going to go into halftime, apparently, as Ames now on offense. They're going to send 5 receivers, 3 at the bottom of your screen and 2 at the top if you're watching on CISN.TV. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chido. We'll catch up with head coach Tom Wilson at halftime, as we'll get his comments as Dowling goes to the locker room. Right now leading 35-0, and now we've got
what's going on?
A delay. They reset the clock.
They called delay a game. Is that what it was? It might have been.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Ames. Yeah, they backed them up 5 yards. So the Little Cyclones will have it 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. They were on the 29 before the penalty.
And now with the running the clock down, the play clock down, also runs the game clock down.
All right, here's Saucer back to throw. He's going to be hit and drop. Ball gets loose, and it rolls out of bounds and by the Ames bench. And they're going to call that a fumble back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it was a backwards fumble pass, whatever you want to call it. It went backwards. So Jalen Pettis comes off the edge again and makes another swim move off that edge and is unabated to Saucer. And he gets a hit. So now the Little Cyclones are backed up as the running clock goes on the ball out of bounds. And it's 2nd and 25 for the Little Cyclones.
So 2nd and 25, you say, and the game clock continue to run. They're letting it run down inside 5 again. And Saucer with an inside handoff, and that's got to be the other tailback. It's
got to be Deshaun Long. Yeah.
Because
a couple other scores here quick. I've got Waukee Northwest up on Ankeny Centennial 17-0, and then Johnston up on Sioux City North 6-0 as they head towards half. So a couple other scores there to keep up on as the night rolls on. And this, I think they're going to let the play run out right here.
Let's go down to John Chido. Johnny, let's get some comments from you before you interview head coach Tom Wilson.
Well, it's been a tremendous half offensively for the Dowling offense. 5 possessions, all touchdowns, and Jake English with 3 touchdown passes and a big run by Cam Middleton. It's just been a great half for the Dowling offense. So we'll catch up with Tom Wilson here.
Okay, we'll let you do that, Johnny. Dowling leading 35-0, and Jake English, 3 touchdown passes in the first half. 1 to Carson Brown, 2 to Cooper Nicholson. Cam Middleton, a 64-yard run for a score, and Adam Townsend, a 2-yard run for a score. That's the Dowling scoring in the first half as the Maroons lead it 35-0. Let's go down to John Chido with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic. The Maroons lead 35-0 here at the half.
Coach Wilson, 5 possessions, all touchdowns. Great night for the offense to start that first half. Being able to stay ahead of the chains, and defense has been playing well. And it's kind of tough to play when they're running the play clock there and to stay in rhythm and keep the kids focused. Your thoughts?
Yeah, they're running it down every time, but I think our defense is doing a nice job. Their offensive scheme isn't easy to defend, but we've done a decent job on offense. Don't like the penalties that we've had, and we've got to shore that stuff up, come out sharp in the second half, then hopefully get a lot of people in the game.
Well, Coach, best of luck second half. Thank you.
All right, John Chido visiting with head coach Tom Wilson as Dowling leads it here at halftime, 35-0 over Ames, and trying to catch up with Coach Seifert, but we'll get our first half statistics. I see him walking down here, and we'll get our first half statistics before we go to our break, and we'll have our halftime guest on. But what a performance by the Maroons. And the Maroons with 337 yards of total offense in the first half. Ames with 143. Dowling had 203 yards in the air with 3 touchdowns from Jake English, I would imagine so, 134 yards on the ground. Ames, the 145 yards in the air and negative 2 yards on the ground. Those sacks kind of eating at Ames. And penalties, Ames with 7 penalties for 55 yards. Dowling with 4 penalties for 51 yards. First downs, Dowling with 13, Ames with 10. And Jake English, 6 out of 7 passing, 155 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Dante Cataldo, 3 out of 4 passing for 48 yards. For Ames, Dallas Saucer, 15 out of 26 passing, 145 yards in the first half. No touchdowns or interceptions. Leading ball carrier for Dowling, Cam Middleton. He had 3 carries for 84 yards and a touchdown. Adam Townsend, 7 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. C.J. Phillip, 4 carries for 6 yards, and Dante Cataldo 1 carry for 4 yards. For Ames, Deshaun Long 4 carries for 14 yards. Jamison Poe, who was only in there for that first 2 series, 1 carry for 3 yards before he was shaken up. He is our leading ball carrier, and he has been out with apparent injury. Leading receiver, Cooper Nicholson for the Maroons, 5 catches, 151 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Carson Brown's 2 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Thompson, 1 catch for 13 yards, and Andrew Bliss, 1 catch for 7 yards to lead Dowling. For Ames, Joe Flannery, 5 catches, 67 yards. Corey Phillips, 6 catches for 34 yards. Evan Gray, 2 catches for 29 yards. Jalen Luth, 1 catch for 8 yards. And Jamison Poe, 1 catch for 7 yards. Those are the first half numbers. Again, Dowling with 337 yards of total offense. Ames, 143. And our thanks to Jared Seifert for providing those numbers. Matt Maynard, before we go to break, anything to add before we bring in Carolyn Kirchhoff?
Just an outstanding half. Efficient on the offensive side, big plays, and really just a dominating first half by the Maroons. We will give a shout-out to the band right now as they announce their parents, and they're really giving their first look at the full show with all the props tonight.
I see that.
As they get into a couple of weekends of contests as their season winds down, too. So congratulations to them.
If you're watching on CISN, you can see the Dowling Marching Band about ready to take over. And our thanks to Ryan O'Hare and his son Colin for sitting in here in the first half. Winners of the 2021 Dowling Bash on Buffalo Road. And I don't know, he bid on something to sit in with you and I and Chido. I don't understand that. All right, we'll take a break. Halftime, Dowling 35, Ames nothing. And we'll be back with our halftime guests. Please stay tuned as you're listening to tonight's game on Central Iowa Sports Network and the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
This universe of ours is a free universe. It is a universe of character making, of soul making. Almighty God has placed into our hands. Think of it, the power to make ourselves saints or devils. It is up to us. There are some laws that we cannot disobey. For example, the law of gravitation and certain biological laws like circulation of blood. But in a moral universe, we are free either to obey the laws of God or to disobey them, just as we are perfectly free, for example, to obey the laws of health or to disobey them.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And welcome back to halftime here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, John Chido, joined by Carolyn Kirchhoff from Dowling Catholic High School. We had you on a few weeks ago, maybe last month. We were talking about the Dowling Club.
Yes.
I did get signed up. I
Thank
got
you.
all my information. So it does work, folks, when you order stuff by watching or listening to tonight's game. And now we're going to talk Dowling Pancake Breakfast. 60 years, is that right?
This is the most wonderful time of the year. It is pancake season, and it is the 60th anniversary, and we're so excited. Last year we went virtual because of the pandemic,
Right.
But this year we are back in business at the State Fairgrounds, and we are looking forward to having all of our friends come join us.
Well, people can purchase tickets. We're going to get to that in a moment, how you can get them. But I saw this ticket pack, $60 for 12 tickets.
12 tickets.
That's $5 a piece, if my math's right. That's pretty good.
That is the best ticket in town. Best ticket in town. And we have all of our celebrity flippers that will be there.
Really?
Yes.
Is Ron Gray going to be there again?
He is always the first one on the sign-up list. He has a method.
He doesn't even teach there anymore. How can he be the first in the sign-up
Well,
list?
and he's had a busy day.
Yeah,
he's had a busy day. He's got his boys' golf team playing at State. So, he's going to come out and flip.
Well, they're 8th place right now, but they have tomorrow. They're
Okay.
8th out of 10 teams. They got some work to do.
Okay.
So if he doesn't finish in the top 5, then we're going to still let him flip pancakes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he could tell you when this whole thing started. Back at the Beanery at the old Dowling on 10th and College. Started there, and then it kind of, went around downtown, Vets Auditorium, the basement there, and all
The convention center?
Convention center for a while, which is
Yes.
now the brand new YMCA downtown.
Correct.
And we've been out the fairgrounds ever since. And it'll be back at the fairgrounds later this month, correct?
Yes, Sunday the 24th.
Oh, thank goodness.
We're there. We are there. I had was talking to some of our sponsors, and our friends at Lofredo were talking that back in the day when their parents were helping with the pancake breakfast, that they were mixing the batter at Noah's on Ingersoll.
Really? I did not know that.
How about that?
Way
There's some
ahead of
history.
time. Well, the Lacona families, we've been blessed with them for so many years, and I know Noah, who passed away, would do that. I did not realize that.
Yes.
Mr. Gray's been on. We've broadcast live down there at the Pancake Breakfast. He never mentioned that. He mentioned some other stuff, but he didn't mention that. Interesting.
Well, this is what I learned after dealing with some of our sponsors, and
sure.
I just love this. There's so many of them that have been a part of this program for so long. They love the history. They love being connected to this event, and the Lofredos are one of them, Oakwood Builders. A lot of these sponsors love it, and I'm glad to have them aboard. And then this year we've had so many new families and corporations join us as sponsors. So welcome aboard to our sponsors. Glad to have them.
We're here at halftime. Dowling leading Ames 35-0. Visiting with Carolyn Kirchhoff. She is the event and community engagement manager, and also kind of helping out with the Dowling Club, getting that going. So you've got a lot of things on your table. We're talking pancakes right now. We're going to talk. I want to recap Grandparents' Day held the other day. I was there for the setup the night before, so I know a little bit about this, but not much. But students have been given a goal. Now, back in our day, each class got a day off if you sold the most for your class, right? Or the percentage of your class, because some classes were larger than others. But our class, the class of 80 at Dowling, folks, we had freshman year off, we won it, and we won it our senior year.
Way to go.
And then all of a sudden you've taken that away. It's a little bit different now. But
it's a team effort. We are team first.
Okay.
We are team first. So the collective goal for the whole school is 760 tickets.
Okay.
So we have topped this week at 510. So we have a week left for ticket sales. So I told the students today they need to text their parents. They need to get on social media. They need to share, and get some tickets sold. And my email has been pinging. Some sales have been coming in, so they must be working. And I have to give a big shout out to my new friend Tim Sheaf in the debate department, because he gave a wonderful PA announcement today on the announcements. And if you did not walk away after listening to Tim Sheaf talk about pancakes and breakfast and sausage wanting to go to this thing, you must not have a pulse, because he did an outstanding job.
I can imagine. He probably practiced that a few times and got it just right. You know, Tim, and, speaking's a big thing to him.
He did it.
And singing and teaching and putting on plays.
Yes.
He does a great job. So I can just imagine how that went. Of course, the Dowling Pancake Breakfast will be the last Sunday, October 24th.
Right.
So coming up the end of this month, you can purchase tickets online at dowlingcatholic.org, but from any Dowling student, correct?
Yes.
Students.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We're doing all online ticket sales.
Okay.
So if you want to support your student, if we've got an alumni out there that wants some tickets, they can go directly to the website, click on events, and there's a tab there. And when it pops up, you can say, I want to support the class of 2022, or I want to support the class of 2025. And so the grade will get credit for that, and the grade that sells the most tickets will get some fabulous treats on a special day to be named.
I was going to ask you about the grades. I saw that, and it's like my daughter's in the year 2026, so that'll go up next year.
Yep.
So I can't give her credit now. Okay. I understand.
But you can love on the class of 2022. That's my daughter's class.
Of course.
And the seniors are winning.
Are they really?
The seniors are ahead right now.
And they should. Okay. So this is a time for Dowling community to gather once again after being off a few years where we couldn't do that at the State Fairgrounds. And this money goes to help with the teacher support, staff support, and the classroom needs, right?
Yes, and everything that encompasses the Dowling experience for the kids.
Well, that is great.
It does it all.
All right. Well, Carolyn, you're going to be around here for a little bit because we're going to take a break, come back, and we'll talk about some things that are happening in the school this past week and what's going to happen in November with the open house.
Big stuff.
I know. So we'll take a break. Carolyn Kirchhoff with Dowling Catholic High School talking pancake breakfast. We'll be back with more as we'll talk with some other upcoming events. Halftime score right now, it's Dowling 35, Ames nothing in our high school football game. Along with the Central Iowa Sports Network crew, I'm Mark Amadale with Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Back after these messages.
I lost a mentor recently. Barbara Morgan had taught me how to share the faith while I was at Steubenville as a student. I called to thank her as she lied in her deathbed and to ask her to pray for my work, the work that she had taught me how to do. Amazingly, the person who mentored me in my work didn't seem to care about my work at that moment at all. She said, "Chris, the best thing you ever did was marry Natalie. Hold on to those around your table. Those you brought into the world, hold on to them. Don't forget them. And when you see me again, I'll be before God interceding for your children. It was a great reminder that I can't hear often enough. It's easy to lose yourself in your work, especially if it's work for God. But no matter how lofty your work is, if your vocation is marriage and family life, it pales in comparison to whatever other work God has given you. That work right in your home is the most important work of all. Hold on to those around your table, friends. This is Chris Stefanik from RealLifeCatholic.com.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. Mark Amadale along with Carolyn Kirchhoff at halftime. Dowling leading Ames 35-0. Carolyn, so glad you could join us. And you have the Pancake Breakfast T-shirt on. And
which they can buy at the Pancake Breakfast.
Yeah, what's all going to be there? Now, this, again, is Sunday, October 24th, 7:30 until noon. It used to be 1 o'clock, but now you're shortening it to noon.
Yes.
And what all is going to be there? The market and all that going to be going on?
So, yes, the market will be going on. We're going to be selling to-go pancake batter boxes. So you like those pancakes that Ron Gray flips? You can take home the dry batter and relive the pancake breakfast in the privacy of your own home. So we'll have that for you. We'll have a lot of student groups and organizations set up. We also have our friends from Drake University. The admissions department will be there. So if you are a student thinking about going to one of the best schools in the Midwest, go Bulldogs, my alma mater, they will be there to talk to folks. We also have something new for our littles. We'll have a giant inflatable apparatus that they can play on. So big UFO slide coming in, so that'll be fun. And Steve Holland will be there with our jazz bands.
Absolutely.
The choir will be there, so we'll have a lot of different entertainment options as well as a great breakfast.
No, folks, don't miss it. The end of October, October 24th. That's a Sunday, and all are welcome.
Yes.
All
are welcome.
All right. Well, we have another event coming up next month, almost a month from today, almost to the day, and that is the Dowling Open House. We will be there because I will take my daughter through it because she'll be a freshman there next year if they let her in and doesn't see that I'm her dad, and he's saying, "Oh, Amadale, well, you might want to go to try some other schools out." But we're going to be there. We'll be there taking the tour. But that is November 7th, and that'll be the Dowling Open House for prospective students.
Yes.
How's this going to work?
This is one of my favorite things. I love to see all the kids coming in, and they get to go on a tour of the school with a student ambassador. And the students are the best sales staff that we have because they're in it every day.
Sure.
They know the ins and outs, and they can take you, if you're interested in choir, they're going to take you through the choir rooms and the band room, and they're going to just tell you the ins and outs. And, you know, the prospective students really have great questions. You know, what's it like? You know, how do I get my uniform pants? When do I do this?
Sure.
How do I get a SAT? So lots of different questions, and the students are great, and it's good for the parents too. And the students will have all their groups out, so if you're interested in FFA or if you want to join the ping pong club, they'll be there, and you can get more information about getting involved. All
right, that's Sunday, November 7th, the Dowling Open House, and it'll be open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., so 4 hours to get all that done and ask questions. And, of course, if tuition is a concern, I think it's a concern for all of us that have kids enrolled at Dowling. It should be. There'll be answers that day, potentially.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. And everybody who is interested in learning about financial assistance, we definitely have room, and we want to talk to you about how you can apply and get some assistance.
All right, Carolyn Kirchhoff here with Dowling Catholic High School, the events manager. You got such a long title now.
I know.
Dowling Club moderator, I think. You taking that title away from Ron Gray?
No, he's still the guy.
All right.
But we do a lot of events, and we had a big one this week on Thursday.
Grandparents' Day.
Oh, my
gosh.
Talk
about that.
It was fantastic. So happy to have our grandparents back on campus. We took a year off last year, and we welcomed them back this year. And it's just one of the most beautiful things to have our grandparents with the grandchildren worshiping together. And it's just wonderful to see the kids together with their grandparents and that love and that bond, because these grandparents have really been the role models for these kids for a long time, and it's just a beautiful thing to see.
Many of them sent their kids to Dowling, and some of them didn't. Some of them moved here to be up near their families. They may have been from different states or counties, and they've moved here and now seen the Dowling experience, and I'm sure that was well received, and it always is. And it's good to see it all in person now, not the virtual.
For sure.
So.
And we had Alice Gall, who is one of 7 kids. She's a senior. She spoke about her experience as a Dowling student, and as a third-generation Dowling family,
Yeah.
so that was beautiful. And then Ron Gray's brother actually spoke as the grandparent representative.
Bill Gray?
Bill Gray.
Oh,
He
my
was our
goodness.
speaker.
Beaverdale's finest there, Mr. Tarpey. We both know that. Yeah,
He
you know
did
that.
a great job.
Yeah, so.
He did a great job.
Well, Carolyn Kirchhoff joins us here. She is the Events and Community Engagement Manager at Dowling Catholic High School, involved with the Dowling Club. Everything else that goes on in the school, I think you've got a hand in. And before we let you go, I know we got a couple minutes here. What did we miss here? We talked about a lot of things tonight. Anything we're missing that you want to kind of plug?
Well, let's see. We have the boys playing at state. We've got girls volleyball coming up. They have a tournament tomorrow, and then they go into regionals coming up soon. And then once we get through November, we have the Christmas luncheon coming up, and all are welcome for that. We are having it at Glen Oaks this year, and it's just a nice way to kick off Advent and have lunch with your friends and Maroon community.
And is there the sign up? You can go to the Dowling website to sign up, or how do you get involved with that?
The sign up will be open probably after Thanksgiving, and that will be up for about 220 people is what we usually have for lunch.
Okay.
It's a great day.
Well, Carolyn, thanks for all you do. Thanks for coming out on a Friday night. I hope your husband, is he around?
Well, we're waiting for more sacks for the sack attack.
The sack attack. That's what's going on.
Yes. So I think we've had 2 so far. So we're doing great. But thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming up.
I'm hoping to see you at the Pancake Breakfast.
Hope to be
You've
there.
Got your tickets.
I have my tickets, yeah. And I'm nothing against Ron Gray, but yeah, something against Ron Gray. I'd probably go to a different line. If Mr. Tarpey's flipping cakes, I'm going to go to his line.
Matt Mandering will be
Mr.
flipping.
Mandering and his wife.
Dr. Arnold will be flipping pancakes.
See, that might be a better line.
There you go.
So Gray will have the early shift, so he'll be gone by the time I get there, I think. That's what I've got this kind of figured out.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for being on with us on CISN and the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Go Pancakes. Go Maroons.
There you go. 35-0. Dowling leading names at halftime. We'll be back. Mr. Mandering has been researching scores from other high school football games in Class 5A. We'll bring him back, and John Chido coming up here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, this is Matt Wilkham, Executive Director for Iowa Catholic Radio. I'm grateful for so many family members who stepped up and pledged your support during our fall carathon, as we seek to be fully funded for the rest of the year. We're still looking to reach our goal, and matching dollars are still available. Give now by calling 515-223-1150 or donate online at iowacatholicradio.com. Thank you for helping Iowa Catholic Radio connect listeners to Christ for 15 years.
It can be easy to forget about the dignity of another when we disagree with their ideas or actions. We start to focus on the things that make us different, and the thoughts start to divide us. Before we reach the conclusion of those thoughts, we must pause and remind ourselves that person with a different idea or lifestyle has great dignity. The next time you find yourself ready to go toe-to-toe with someone, remember that they have dignity and deserve respect, even when we disagree.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium as Dowling leading here at halftime 35-0 over the Ames Little Cyclone in Week 7 of the high school football season. Alongside Matt Mandering, I'm Mark Amadale. Thanks for joining us tonight. John Chido's on the Dowling sideline. The Maroons out of the locker rooms and getting ready for the second half. And I know Matt Mandering, while I was visiting with Carolyn Kirchhoff, talking about pancakes and other events going on at Dowling Catholic High School, you were running down some scores, and I think
I'm running down some
You need
scores.
Another pen? You've got a lot of ink that you
I got a lot of ink.
Go ahead.
Most importantly, the Red Sox are up on the Devil Rays 9-6 going into the bottom of the 7th.
Let my wife know that. She's a huge Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
Her late brother grew up out there, or resided out there, raised his family out there, so big Red Sox fan.
Well, she is pretty smart.
Yeah, I don't know about that. She married me, so that goes without saying. But
I know.
Matt, give us a rundown.
All right,
some
scores. Yeah, Southeast Polk is still up on Cedar Rapids Prairie, 14-7. Most of these games are in the third quarter now, as we're running a little bit behind everybody. Valley is now up on Lincoln, 49-14. Urbandale, 56-6 over Sioux City West, up in Sioux City tonight. Ankeny over Des Moines North, 42-0. And then running down the line here, Waukee Northwest is 17-0 over Ankeny Centennial. And Johnston up on Sioux City North, 6-0 at half. And those are the main ones as I've gone through them. I'll try to get an Iowa City score in here, too, at some point.
Well, Iowa City West had their game postponed tonight. They've canceled Iowa City West, not City High.
Okay.
Iowa City West, their game canceled. I think the other team had the COVID outbreak, so they were not able to do it. Hey, I want to give a shout-out to Pete Tarpey and Justin Wolber and Rachel Hawley from the Central Iowa Sports Network as we simulcast radio and, it's TV, but it's on your, however you hook it up to your smart TV. Yeah, there you go. As they live stream tonight's game, we appreciate working with them. This might be the final time. It might be the final time. Next week's a big week. Valley's home against Dowling, and the Maroons are showing no signs of looking past Ames for Valley. That's one thing I always, before the week before Valley, Dowling, it's like, how are they going to play? And then the week after, you're hoping there's no residue afterwards.
Right.
And
one thing about going into tonight's game is the rankings, whatever, the RPI.
Right.
I'm sure Coach Wilson was saying, well, Ames is 10, we're 14, and something to get the kids focused, and they came out with a lot of energy in that first half and played about a perfect first half.
They have. Let's go down to John Chido. Johnny, have you rejoined us? I don't know. Sometimes he goes in the locker room. And, Johnny, give us an update on the sideline right now.
Well, that was a long halftime, so
it was.
Trying to get back and get the kids' focus is always a challenge. But and you want to maintain that enthusiasm, and with the running clock, you want to see a lot of people get a lot of playing time that you weren't able to do in those first 4 games. And hopefully now it's kind of like last week where you're going to see a lot of new faces and a lot of kids get opportunities to show what they have.
And John, one thing I want to mention, go back a week ago to Johnston, the Maroons offensively in the first half, they turned the ball over on downs the first 2 possessions. That wasn't the case tonight. They put up 21 points or 14 points in the first quarter and then tacked on 3 more touchdowns in the second quarter. They didn't leave anything on the table.
No, and when you don't punt the ball once in the first half, that's a good thing. And you had 5 possessions and 5 touchdowns. And Dowling, we're seeing a Dowling team find their identity. We're staying ahead of the chains, more discipline. You're staying away from the penalties. Now, you had a few penalties, but not like last week where they put Dowling behind the chains. And you don't want to get in those 2nd and 15, 3rd and 10, because that's not their MO.
Yeah, that is true. And I know I don't know if anybody was shaken up, Johnny. You were down there, but Maroons got a lot of players in. They're going to get more in here in the second half, and that's very important.
Yeah, it is, and especially on senior night too. And that's always a great thing to see, and keep kids healthy moving forward to next week. You just want, that's the most important thing, is get guys healthy to make a run here in the next 3 weeks.
That is true. All right, John Chido on the Dowling sideline tonight as Ames will kick off and defend the north end zone. Dowling will receive and defend, obviously, the south end zone. They'll be going right to left. Maroons in their home maroon uniforms, white pants, white helmets. Now here's a short kickoff picked up at the 30-yard line by one of the upbacks for Dowling, and he just kind of zigzagging and may have gotten a few yards on the return before he is stacked up. And that's Jalen Thompson out there on the return. He's run the ball tonight for 13 yards. He's made a catch. He dropped the ball that might have went for a touchdown. I'm just talking with Johnny about leaving things on the field. The Maroons didn't leave too many empty plays out there.
No, they didn't. And they have come out with authority tonight. And I think this first series you'll see a lot of the starters out there and find that rhythm again and work. And then we'll see where it goes from there.
Well, Jake English will take the helmet quarterback. He and Dante Cataldo have split those duties tonight. And in the backfield for Dowling will be Phillip, and CJ gets the carry here in the second half, and we'll have the running clock, of course. Dowling up 35-0. They did that with 1:43 remaining in the second quarter, and it was a running clock. As now it's a running clock. I brought the rule. I've had to look that up, Matt, because we were
half.
It's any. It's the words anytime you get up by 35 points, and the Maroons now with the running clock. And Phillip again at 2 up to the 34 again. Bring up second down and 6, for Dowling. English at quarterback. He'll send a man in motion. That's Caden Sanders. He'll flip-flop left side to the right side. And now back to throw English. Fires it out, and he threw behind Carson Brown. The pass is incomplete. And Joe Flannery, who goes both ways for Ames, was on the defensive cornerback closest to the play, incomplete.
quick hitter there, and Jake was a little bit behind him as he threw it out there, and at the timing pattern, and a little bit off, and now they've got themselves in a 3rd and long situation.
Third and 8 for the Maroons as we're underway here in the 3rd quarter. Dowling up 35-0. And English, plenty of time, fires the ball downfield. The pass is incomplete. Outstretched arms over there by Dowling was incomplete right in front of the Ames bench, and that'll bring up 4th down for Dowling Catholic.
Ames is playing coverage. They're only rushing 3 guys, and that's why Jake had all kinds of time, and it looked like it was
Bo Gamble.
Number 13, or not number 13, number 12.
Yeah, Bo Gamble was the intended receiver.
And so they played coverage and force the first punt of the night for the Maroons.
That's right. And that's John Cole back to punt, and he gets it away. High and fair catch signal for by Ames, and might have hit an Ames player, but it's fielded by the Ames punt returner at the 27-yard line, and that's where Ames will take over. 1st and 10, 9:15 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Clock continues to run. It's a running clock, 35-0 Dowling. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that is where John Chido has been all night. Johnny?
Well, just when we say the offense is clicking, they come in and go 3 and out. So you don't want to see that. And, you have to stay focused every single play and stay ahead of the chains, and unfortunately that wasn't the case there. But Matt hit the nail on the head. Ames went and dropped more guys into coverage and successfully defensively on that possession.
Yeah, that is true, and Maroons threw behind a receiver on that 2nd down play. So Ames with the football. They're at work from their own 31-yard line as the quarterback remains Dallas Saucer. Little swing pass to the left side. It's caught by the tailback out of the backfield. That's Deshaun Long, and he has his way. Ball is loose. He got the 1st down, and then Dowling came up with it. Fumble recovery by Dowling right near midfield.
Yeah, and they're going to give the ball to the Maroons. You wouldn't know if his knee was down or not, but someone came up from behind and punched it. We might be able to catch it if we can get a replay on that. But great tackling by the Maroons, and that's a freshman running the football right there.
Ethan Duong, I think, recovered it for Dowling. We can verify this with John Chido, but got a nice block. Long got the 1st down, and then right before he went down, the ball pops loose.
It looks like Seth DeWitty ripped it out. I would say number 19, Seth DeWitty here, gets in there and gets an arm on it and pulls it out and strips the ball loose. And
Ethan Duong
gets on it for the Maroons.
All right, Cataldo back to throw. He airs it out, and the pass is incomplete. He led him a little bit too far, as Cooper Nicholson was the
I think it was
Mikey
McClain.
McClain was the intended receiver, and he aired it out that time. Mikey, one of the fastest kids in the state, almost come up with it.
Yeah, tough to overthrow him as he's running down the field.
The 100 and 200-meter champion in the state last spring. And
outstanding young man.
So they'll bring up 2nd down for Dowling. They move the ball to the 49 of Ames. So I thought as the game clock continues to run, Cataldo back to throw, fires it out. This time it's caught near side, down the near sideline, and that is McClain? No, it's Cooper Nicholson.
That's Cooper Nicholson again.
Maroons are interchanging their receivers. We're going to see a lot of different personnel. Go ahead, Matt.
The Ames defense is bringing everybody up to stop the run and allowing single coverage out there, and they're giving so much room on the corners there that it's hard not to throw the football right now. And if you look at it right now, you got almost 10 yards even out there on the splits.
17-yard gain that time. Cataldo to Cooper Nicholson, and now we've got a penalty. And they're going to call Dowling with the false start. They're talking to the lineman. Somebody didn't stay set, and that'll be a penalty. John Chido, let's bring you in as the Maroons now starting to get to the Bows and the Flores red zone. Go take it away, Johnny.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of one-on-one matchups with the defensive backs and the receivers for Dowling. And when they throw guys in the box, that's what's going to happen. And at RPO, you read the linebacker comes and you throw it, especially with the cushion here. And that's exactly how Dowling's run their offense here.
And here's a play-action fake and the pass by Cataldo to Carson Brown. And Carson couldn't get out of the grasp of the Ames defender, and he is brought down immediately. That's a great job, individual tackle out there by DeAndre Isaac.
DeAndre Isaac makes a really good play out there for the little Cyclones as he was able to take Carson Brown. That's a tough play out there in space. And looked like it was going to be a big play when it first developed.
And now here is a handoff, and right up the gut, it's Townsend, and he might go. Adam Townsend down the far sideline, touchdown from 37 yards. That's his second one of the night, and they just slip the linebacker / running back in there, and he maintains that over 10-yard average, Matt Mandring.
His touchdowns to touch ratio is amazing. And, again, a great run by Adam. Great crease up front with the line on that right side and got an opening for him, and it's all end zone.
That's his second touchdown of the night. Jake English has thrown for 3 touchdowns tonight. Cooper Nicholson has caught 2, and the extra point is up, and it is good by Dowling Catholic. So the Maroons tack on some more as the extra point is good by David Roberts for the first time tonight. Roberts adds the extra point, and we'll take a timeout. 5:48 remaining here in the third quarter. 42-0 Dowling over Ames. Back after these messages.
Thank you, Ashworth Vision Clinic, for underwriting Dowling Catholic Sports 365 on Iowa Catholic Radio. Ashworth Vision Clinic online at ashworthvision.com. Ashworth Vision Clinic, 515-440-4610.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Chemin, a global ingredient manufacturer using science to transform the quality of life for 80% of the world with their products and services. Chemin, using science to transform the world. Chemin.com. Thank you, Chemin, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel, 90.9 FM KLOX Creston.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium on senior night for Dowling Catholic as David Roberts kicks off for Dowling Catholic. A short kick and return across the 35 to the 36-yard line by one of the upbacks for Ames. And the Little Cyclones take it there. We're in the middle of the running clock with 5:25 and the game clock running here in the third quarter. Dowling leads 42-0. John Chados, we go down to you. The Maroons with a 4-play, 49-yard drive capped off by Adam Townsend's 37-yard run for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's what we call like our slam play, which is over the A gap, and you go from one A gap to the other A gap. That's between the guard and center, and nice blocking up front by Ryan Bagenstosh and Gabe Carey, and he went untouched.
Yes, he did, and of course he uses that sneaky speed of his, and now there's the ball tipped and incomplete as Saucer for Ames with the throw. Thank you, John Chotto, for that report. And Ames comes out firing. The game clock's going to continue to run, Matt, even though the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, they're going to keep the clock rolling here, and good coverage there for the Maroons as the DeAndre Isaacs a little slow getting up after that play, and well broken up there by the Maroons. I believe that was Mason, or it looked like Quincy Ferguson in coverage there for the Maroons.
There's different personnel out there now.
Quincy Ferguson.
All right, it's 2nd and 10 Ames. 4:20 remaining here in the third quarter. Dowling leading 42-0. Ames going left to right, north to south. There is Saucer back to throw, and he fires it near side. The pass is incomplete. Intended receiver was Jalen Luth, who caught a pass earlier in the first half, and that one's incomplete.
In the third quarter now, Cedar Rapids Prairie has tied the ball game up with Southeast Polk. And if you're looking at RPI stuff, you really kind of want Southeast Polk to win now.
You do.
Yeah, because strength of schedule plays into it.
Yeah.
Who's the teams that have beat you, you want to win to help your RPI.
That'll bring up third down, 3rd and 10 for Ames. And now Saucer on a quick hitter, and a pass is caught, but for negative yardage, they're going to spot forward progress at the 34-yard line, loss of 3.
Again, that one out there was for Corey Phillips, and the ball took a long time to get there, and you can just see this maroon wave sprinting out there to the football. And three guys there right away, and then you see Mata and company even come from their defensive line position to get on top there.
I'll bring up 4th down for the Little Cyclones. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. The game clock continues to run. 4th and 13 Ames from their own 34-yard line. And the freshman punter, Charles Tucker, doesn't have a real big average tonight, but this is his season debut, and he gets it away. It's a short end-over-end kick, and now takes a Ames roll inside the 30 of Dowling, and finally going to be down right around the 26-yard line. Believe it or not, that might be his best punt of the night.
That was
with
his
no
best
return.
Punt. Yeah, that was his best punt, no doubt about it. He kept that one in bounds. He's kicked them all, as you have said, Mark. They've told him to keep it on the out of bounds, and so there's no return on it, and he did it right there and kept it in bounds. We got a flag on the play back here, though.
Okay, we'll get that in a moment. Let's go down to John Shadow for an update. Johnny, a lot of players, and of course we have the turf field, so we don't have clean uniforms, but we got new players out there, John, and we're trying to pick them up as we speak.
Yeah, and we have a whole new host of offensive linemen that were going to come into the game here too until the penalty, so kind of waiting to see what that is, but a lot of new faces out here. I went and grabbed my roster, so I'm preparing myself for this. And now the guys are in front of me, so I don't have to look too far. So
we just leave the big guys to Mr. Maynard to figure out, because there's only 5 of them on the line.
Yeah, I know it. Well, I got Clayton Witten out there, and Carlos Navarro, who gets a lot of time, and this is another time for him. And I see Jalen Thompson running back out there. You get a few, and then Cataldo will take the reins here.
All right, Dante Cataldo at quarterback, and the give on first down is to the tailback, and let's see which one comes out of that huddle.
Who was that back there?
Jack Moore.
Jack
Moore. So there's our 4th running back of the night, Jack Moore. He played some time last week at Johnston.
Trevor Haltorf is in there right now also on the offensive line.
And Moore picks up 10 yards, first down Maroons. And now on play action, Moore again, and he's going to be stopped side of the 45-yard line, so he'll gain 2. Bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Maroons from their own 45. Minute 50 remaining. Game clock continues to run on the running clock. 42-0 Dowling over Ames. Next week, Ames will host Des Moines Lincoln, who was involved in a close game at Valley at one point. Then, Matt, they pulled away at halftime. Valley leading by quite a bit there at halftime over at Hutchin Stadium. And Dowling will be here at Valley Stadium against their arch rival, the Valley Tigers, next Friday night. And we'll have it here on Iowa Catholic Radio. And now first down, or a catch for the first down, that goes to Bo Gamble.
Yeah. So on that offensive line, if we can get across there, it looks like it's Clayton Witten out at the right tackle. We got Trevor Haltorf in there, Carlos Navarro, as I said before, all up front for the Maroons, and Jalen Thompson at tight end.
All right, pistol formation. Cataldo at quarterback, the sophomore. Handoff goes to Moore. Jack's got an opening, and he puts his head down and gets near a first down. He's tripped up inside the 40, down to the Ames 37. So Jack Moore, the 6 foot, 175-pound junior. We've seen C.J. Phillip. We've seen Cam Middleton. Adam Townsend has a pair of touchdowns. He's the 3rd running back, and Jack Moore the 4th. And it's 2nd and 2 Dowling from the Ames 46. Give to Moore again, and he's got the first down as he's brought down right at the...
Well, the ball came out, but I think the ball was dead.
45-yard line. I think the whistle sounded before that. Play stopped and nowhere to gain. So it'll be 1st and 10 Dowling on Moore's carry.
I believe that's Carson Hagan. No, that's not Carson Hagan. I can't tell who's the Sam Tesaw. Maybe he's the other lineman out here on this left edge as they ran behind him right there, and he kind of gets rolled up on there. It looks, it's Caleb Saylor. That's who it is. Caleb Saylor playing that left tackle spot was able to punch it and get a first down.
All right, we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter here at Valley Stadium. Senior night for Dowling Catholic High School and Parents' Night. The score is Dowling 42, Ames nothing. Back with the 4th quarter in 1 minute, and you're listening and watching tonight's game on the Central Iowa Sports Network and the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercy1.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Davenport, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
What is the best gift ever? Giving a Catholic education is at the top of my list. Your contribution to CTO helps families send their children to our Catholic schools who otherwise could not afford it. In giving to CTO, you receive the best tax credits ever. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their future.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. We start the fourth quarter, Dowling leading 42-0 as you watch tonight's game on the Central Iowa Sports Network, and we broadcast tonight's game on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. And give to Moore to start the fourth quarter, gains a yard, so Maroons will be 2nd and 9 from the Ames 33-yard line. And now Cataldo to give to Moore once again, breaks a tackle, and he's near a first down. Jack Moore, second effort, fouled his right guard and tackle, and you mentioned the new guys in there for the Maroons, and is near a first down. They're going to give him the first down there, man.
Yeah, nice run. He showed good adjustment there, jumping sideways and showing some nifty footwork there for the 6 foot, 175-pound junior. He's getting behind Caleb Saylor, Trevor Holtoff, Anthony Cano, Carlos Navarro, and Clayton Witten in there right now.
9-yard gain, and now the Maroons back on the ground. More of the handoff, and he follows his center, and he gets it down to the 20-yard line for a gain of 4.
This offensive line, it's the kids that are in there right now, all seniors except for Haltorf, and these kids have worked really hard and not much of a drop off. There's such a competition at that front line for the Maroons that there's a lot of good talent down there.
All right, here's Cataldo on a 2nd and 6, and the read option to give is to a different tailback, and let's see which one that is. That's Crutchlow, Hunter Crutchlow carried. Now the Maroons with their 5th different back on the ball carry.
And he was able to bounce to the outside there. He had a couple nice runs at the last game, and they were able to bounce it out and get some yards. He put his shoulder down and kept the feet churning and made it a 3rd and short.
All right, bring up 3rd and 1 for the Maroons. Pistol formation for Cataldo. He's got Crutchlow and Moore in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. There's the snap, and he wants to throw. Fires the ball out. The pass is caught at the 10-yard line. That's Mikey McLean with it. The 5. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown. Mikey McLean on senior night. That's his first one of the season.
Yeah, flag down, but I think it was a face mask. I'm pretty sure they had a face mask on Mikey as he got close to the end zone. So that's going to be a touchdown for the Maroons. Great run by Mikey McLean right there.
Well, he got hit after he caught it, and he broke the tackle, and they're going to wave it off. We're going to wait for the official signal from the referee.
Let's see if Dad gives him a hug here.
Well, Dad's down the hall.
Oh, yeah, he's down
up
the
here.
hall, yeah.
He's up here. Official's still talking it over, and we'll try to pick up the signal. But, John Chito, how about that? If it stands, looks like it will. Mikey McLean with his first touchdown.
Yeah, and he fought for every inch to get in the end zone, too, and even went through a face mask. And the excitement for him to get in there at the end zone with the kids and him coming off the sideline, that's great. And I'm glad it's a defensive penalty and didn't want that one to come back.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 4. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So they'll assess the penalty on the kickoff. Thanks for that report, John. Mikey McLean, touchdown pass of 16 yards from Dante Cataldo. And the Maroons improved their lead to 48-0. Now it's a matter of which kickers in there. David Roberts will attempt the extra point. English to hold. The snap by Hagan. The ball down. The kick is up. And Roberts' kick is good. So the Maroons lead it 49-0. We'll take a break. Timeout on the field. 9:43 remaining. Fourth quarter. It's Dowling 49, Ames nothing. Here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Listen to The Uncommon Good with Bo Bonner and Dr. Bud Marr Wednesday mornings at 10 on Iowa Catholic Radio and on demand at iowacatholicradio.com and the Iowa Catholic Radio app.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio provided by Northwest Bank. Commitment you can bank on. Northwest Bank is a community bank serving Iowa and Nebraska. NW.BANK. Thank you, Northwest Bank, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines on senior night. A penalty against Ames for the face mask. Maroons will kick off from the Ames 45, and David Roberts will just kick it in the end zone. And that one will go into the end zone. Touchback. It'll be 1st and 10, Ames from their own 20-yard line. Dowling 49, Ames nothing. And that last touchdown pass from Dante Cataldo, that's his first one of the night, of 16 yards to Mikey McLean, his first as a senior, the state 100 and 200-meter champ in high school track last year at the state track meet down at Drake Stadium back in May. John Chido, you're on the Dowling sideline, and that's got to be a happy sideline, especially when a senior catches a score on senior night.
Yeah, it always is, and the kids are always excited to see that happen. And it's exciting for Mikey, too. And nice throw by Dante Cataldo to get the ball to him. And like I said, Mikey had to fight every inch to get in that end zone.
Yeah,
it wasn't easy.
It was the yards after the catch. He had to get in about 7 yards. Now Flannery on the end of the round as Ames puts the ball on the ground from their own 20-yard line. Game clock continues to run. We're at 9:35 and running. And Flannery turns upfield, gets outside the numbers on that little jet sweep to the right of the formation and turns it up to about the 22, 23-yard line for a gain of 2 or 3.
A couple scores. I don't know what happened over at Cedar Rapids Prairie, but Southeast Polk wins the game 44-14. So your information is only as good as where you're getting it from.
Yeah, you said
I don't
it was
know.
tied.
It was tied at one point, and who knows? Marshalltown defeated Roosevelt as well tonight, 14-7.
Wow, that's a big blow for Roosevelt. They were looking to make the playoffs, and Ames now with they're going to start their running attack here as Coach Brian Saucer in his first year at Ames, head coach in his 13th year. He was at Iowa City West and Muscatine. We had a few stories to share about the Muscatine area last night over the phone as he was helping me prepare. But Coach Saucer in his first year came from Grinnell, had a nice program there. Matter of fact, his son is playing at Iowa State. He's one of the offensive linemen at Iowa State. He's redshirting this year, so he's going to be at Ames for a while.
Yeah, he's a good. It takes a little while in football to turn it around, and to get things moving in the right direction.
All right, from the 30-yard line, little swing pass to the left side. It's caught, and out racing the Dowling secondary is Flannery, and he finally steps out of bounds. What's the official going to spot him down at? Inside the 40 of Dowling, inside the 30 of Dowling at the 29 of Ames. Good run.
Yeah, Vinny Bertinelli took a good angle and was able to cut him off. Otherwise, it was 6 points. And a nice catch and run there by Flannery, and Bertinelli saves a touchdown.
41-yard reception from quarterback Dallas Saucer to Joe Flannery. And it's first down Ames at the Dowling 29. The shotgun is Saucer, the coach's son, who came from Grinnell. He was the quarterback at Grinnell last year at this time. Here's Flannery in motion. They're going to throw it to him. And they throw it in the end zone. The pass is broken up and incomplete. He underthrew his receiver. And was that Phillips down there?
Yeah, that was. and who's defending him? Because there's a big size difference down there. I can't quite see that number across the field. It wasn't Quincy Ferguson. Who was it out there?
That's number 10.
Number
for Dowling
10.
Catholic. And that's
Dominic Quinn.
Yeah, so Quinn at 5'7".
Yeah.
Against Corey Phillips at 6'5", 271.
Yeah, he's giving up 140 pounds. Dominic Quinn, 5'7", 130 on the roster, so that usually means it's about 5'7", 125. And he's giving up a lot right there, made a great play.
All right, Flannery in motion, but they throw it the other side. Flannery went motion left to right. They throw it to the left side, and the pass is caught. And that is Evan Gray with the reception for a short gain.
Short gain brings up third down as the Maroon defense is sitting there. And, Ames was having a little success running the football, and now they've gone back to the passing game here as they work their way down the field. But you got to believe they're looking at that Phillips matchup over there on the other sideline.
So Gray with the catch for 8 yards down to the Dowling 21, 49-0 Maroon. 6.5 minutes remaining, and Ames threatening here as they're getting close. They're going to put the ball at the 21. Flannery back to throw, has time, fires over the middle. The pass is knocked away and incomplete. That may have saved the touchdown because the ball was slightly behind the receiver, but close enough to catch. And I'll tell you what, an outstanding job done by the Dowling defensive back, Will Riley, breaking it up.
Will Riley. he went in there and broke that play up, and Will's parents pretty well. He'll be pretty proud of the young man right there as he goes up and gets his hands on the offensive guy, knocks the ball loose, and saves the touchdown.
Well, next year, Will Riley will be making his venture on senior night a year from now. Or when will that be? Because Dowling will be on the road next year up at Ames, so it might be the following week. We'll see. And now here's a late handoff, and they give it to the tailback. Let's see. That's Jacob.
Going to be short of the first down, so it should turn it over on down.
Yeah, that's a new tailback in there. This will be the third one they've used. That's Boothville.
Ben Hoover on the stop there for the Maroons.
Check that's Long. I'm sorry. Deshaun Long with the carry, and he's shy of the first down. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, Ben Hoover on the stop for the Maroons, and big play there. It gets it fourth down and gets the turnover on downs. That was a great tackle by Ben.
Yep, and I'll have to ask him about that at Sunday. I see him and his family at Mass.
All right.
Good job, Ben. Although they are Iowa State fans, so I got to kind of hold that off a little bit. As the Maroons now with a new quarterback in there, and that's David Roberts. Yes, he kicks extra points, and he can run the offense, and a handoff inside. John Chidle's in the Dowling sideline. Oh, it's senior night, and we're seeing a lot of kids get in here, Johnny.
Yeah, how about the stop by Ben Hoover and Vinny Bertnolian in there, and standing next to Doc Zachary, and he's very proud. I mean, he groomed those kids at an early age. He coached all those kids all the way through 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and was a defensive coach, and was happy to see those guys make that play.
Well, hang on here, Johnny, as Roberts is at quarterback, and now we got penalty flags down. Where did you guys play those kids you just mentioned, 8th grade year? Where were they playing in your offense?
Vinny, he was a corner, and Ben Hoover was a center. He actually played offensive line, and now he's playing linebacker. So it just tells you what you play in 8th grade doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to play when you become a varsity athlete.
Matt, we should call this segment "Put Johnny on the Spot."
Yeah,
how about some of these other young men in there? Where'd you play them, Johnny? We can go right down the roster tonight.
Will Riley is still playing linebacker, and he played a little fullback, tailback, too, as an 8th grader. Dominic Quinn was a receiver. He didn't play much defense, but he played a nice play on Corey Phillips. I mean, I saw that coming standing behind here that they were going to try to pick on him, and he got great inside position.
A couple years ago, Mark, I coached Will Riley's mother in basketball. I was coaching 6-on-6 basketball a couple years ago. High school, Spalding Catholic.
Spalding Catholic, not Sheldon.
Spalding
speaking
Catholic.
of basketball,
early on.
Here's look behind you, Mr. Maynard.
I see this.
This is I don't know if she's going to go out for basketball this year or not. She hasn't made her decision. I'm the last to know. But there we go. It's 3rd and 9 Dowling, and Roberts with the handoff again and spinning out of a tackle and hit and drop back at the 18-yard line is the Dowling tailback. And let's see, that's Crushalow or Moore, Jack Moore on the carry.
Didn't have much room right there to do anything as the little Cyclone defense got in there and made a play. Number 73, Phil Townsend for Ames, gets in there and gets the stop.
All right, we'll have our post-game show. Of course, we'll get our statistics from Jared Seifert as Dowling will punt. And Joe Vidane in to punt. He'll stand back at his own 5-yard line awaiting the snap. I'm guessing Hagan is still his long snapper and gets it away. It's a high, short kick. It'll bounce right around the 45 of Dowling, and we'll take a Dowling bounce or Ames bounce. Oh, takes an Ames bounce, and Maroons will down it right at the 40-yard line. So a 22-yard punt with no return for Vidane. And now 2:25 remaining. The game clock continues to run. I think Ames wants to try and score. They have 3 timeouts, see if they want to put points on the board. Otherwise, the brand-new defensive coordinator for Dowling Catholic, Coach Campbell, Jason Campbell, might get his first shutout.
This is the first one.
Might. He was in cahoots with Coach Bossum for those many years.
Yeah.
Bossum got all the credit for that.
Quite a tandem.
But defensive coordinator Jay Campbell may get the credit if they can keep him out of the end zone.
Now you let the cat out of the bag here. But
I did. And now they're going to come after me. I figured I just put the kibosh on them. 49-0 Dowling. Salser back to throw. Throws it downfield. The pass is caught inside the 15-yard line. Beautiful catch and a nice defensive effort that time by Dowling Catholic.
It was a great defensive effort and a great catch down the field for Ames, and they've got themselves inside the 20.
That was Luth with the catch. Gets it all the way down to the 16-yard line.
I believe that was Ben Hugerich. Is that right? Number 23 back there in coverage.
Okay. And now here is Saucer calling signals, back to throw. Now being chased in the pocket, rolls to his right, and he fires it out, and it's caught in the slot that time, and that is that Phillips with the catch?
I don't know, but you almost did it.
It is not.
That's
Deshaun Long.
Yeah, that's Deshaun Long. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Amadeo.
Under the final minute.
Yeah.
Hey, just don't tell Coach Campbell I didn't mention that in the final minute, And he's got everybody in. He's going to keep his reserves in there. Ames has got their first team in there. You look at Long and Saucer in at quarterback. It's 1st and goal, Ames. And they're going to put the ball on the 2-yard line. And the inside handoff and into the end zone, touchdown. There goes the shutout.
We won't say anything that you mentioned that earlier.
This could be a long post game. And there might be some coaches that leave the field to come up to the press box.
Yeah.
Like the defensive coaches.
I had nothing to do with it.
Hey, Johnny, you didn't hear that, right? Nobody heard that?
I'm sitting there thinking that you're like the guy that made, like, the announcer when somebody makes, like, going for the record for most consecutive free throws, and you're going to say, well, the guy's on fire. He's 99 out of 99, and
hey, Johnny,
he's one more for the record.
You don't know what he was talking. You don't want to know what he was talking about off air up here about our kicking game. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't we have to go to a break? Well, we got a 2-point conversion now. They throw it in the end zone. It's incomplete, so the score remains 49-6 now. Dowling with the lead, and we can't come to commercial break fast enough. Thanks to you two. 33 seconds remaining, folks. It's 49-6. Dowling with the lead over Ames. And along with the Central Iowa Sports Network, this is Iowa Catholic Radio Network, back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
This is a Young Catholic Minute. My brother doesn't want to get confirmed. Is it okay for my parents to make him anyway? Would your parents make your brother get married or be ordained a priest if he didn't want to? I doubt it. But confirmation is just as big a deal. It's not just graduating from religious education classes. It's making a commitment to follow Christ and remain faithful to Him and His church. How do you think God would feel if someone walked up to the bishop to be confirmed but had no intention of keeping the commitment to God that confirmation implies? Probably about as good as someone who just found out their spouse was lying when he or she was saying their wedding vows. And if someone doesn't want to be confirmed, then it's not a good idea to force them into a situation where they would be lying to God. But that doesn't mean we're powerless. Prayer will move mountains. Just have faith and trust in God. He won't let you down. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
We're back here at Valley Stadium. Ames kicks off, onside kick, and now the scrum as the ball is it's past the 50-yard line, and Dowling comes up with it. That's Ben Hugerich with the recovery, and it's Dowling football with a first down at their own 49-yard line.
And they won't have to snap the football, so the game is over. One update, we do have a change on that Southeast Polk score.
We're getting conflicting scores.
We have a 20-14 Prairie, but I think it is 21-20 now, Southeast Polk.
All right, it's final now here from Valley Stadium on senior night. It's Dowling 49, Ames 6 as the game ends. And we'll move to our post-game show. We'll get our statistics from Jared Seifert, who keeps the numbers. We'll go with that before we go to our first break. And then we'll come back. We'll have interviews on the field on senior night. John Scheida will be interviewing a couple of Dowling players, along with head coach Tom Wilson. As Dowling now improves their record to 4-3. Ames falls to 4-3. And that old RPI sheet you got next to you is going to change come Monday, Mr. Maindring. That's going to be some big changes on there, especially some of these scores that haven't come in. If Southeast Polk ends up losing, that could change a lot of things.
Yeah, it could. And who knows how that game will wash out here as you get two good teams going at it late in the ball game. So we'll see how it pans out.
All right, well, the teams shake hands following the contest. I'm glad you can do that nowadays.
Yeah.
That's always nice to see. 49-6, the final. Dowling over Ames. The Maroons do not get the shutout, and please shut the door so Coach Campbell cannot get in. And I think Coach Crandall will be right behind him, and Adam Jack and all those defensive guys. I just put the kibosh on him. So more on that later. Dowling now with Total offense tonight of 465 yards, 245 yards in the air, 220 on the ground. That's pretty balanced. Ames with 257 yards of total offense, 246 yards in the air, and just 11 yards on the ground. Penalties, Ames penalized 7 times for 55 yards, Dowling 6 penalties for 61 yards. As first downs, Ames with 15, and Dowling had 20 first downs in the contest. Quarterback Jake English tonight, not a bad night. 6 out of 9 passing, 155 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the Dowling senior. Sophomore Dante Cataldo came in, 7 of 9 passing for 90 yards and a touchdown. And Dallas Saucer, the Ames quarterback, 21 of 36 passing, 246 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. Leading ball carrier for Dowling was Cam Middleton, 4 carries, 86 yards, and a touchdown. And Middleton got loose for a 64-yard touchdown in the first half. Adam Townsend, 8 carries, 77 yards, and Adam, a pair of touchdowns in the contest. Jack Moore came in, 8 carries, 36 yards. Hunter Crutchlow, 3 carries, 11 yards. And C.J. Phillip, 4 carries for just 6 yards tonight for C.J. And Dante Cataldo, 1 carry for 4 yards. For Ames, Deshaun Long was the leading ball carrier, 7 carries for 25 yards, and he scored the lone touchdown for Ames from 2 yards out. Jamison Poe, 1 carry for 3 yards, and he was injured after that second series. He did not return. He is their leading rusher on the season, and he was out with an injury. Joe Flannery, 1 carry for 2 yards, and Bo Peterson, 3 carries for negative 19 yards. Leading receiver for Dowling, how about this? Cooper Nicholson tonight, Matt. 6 receptions, 168 yards, and 2 Dowling touchdowns. Congratulations to him and the 2 Dowling quarterbacks that threw it to him, both Cataldo and Jake English. Carson Brown, 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. Mikey McClain caught his first touchdown, one catch for 15 yards. And Jalen Thompson, 1 catch for 13 yards. Bo Gamble, 1 catch for 10. And Andrew Bliss, 1 catch for 7 yards. For Ames, Flannery was the leading receiver with 108 yards. Luth with 3 catches for 39 yards. Deshaun Long, 2 catches for 32 yards. Phillips, the big guy, 7 catches for 31 yards. And Evan Gray, 2 catches for 29 yards. Again, Dowling with total offense tonight, 465 yards. Ames with 257. And our thanks to the one and only Jared does a great job. And Jarek Seifert, with all the numbers tonight, we want to thank him. We're going to take a break. We'll go to our post-game interviews following tonight's contest. 49-6 the final, Dowling over Ames. Back with more from Valley Stadium on Dowling Senior Night here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
This is Dale Ahlquist with a Chesterton Minute. Have you ever heard someone say, the Catholic Church is just out of touch? It's going to have to change if it ever hopes to be relevant in today's world. But G.K. Chesterton says, we do not need a church that will move with the world. We need a church that will move the world. It's not that the church has to change, it's that the world has to change, and it's up to us as the church to change the world. That is the call to conversion. We don't convert the world by giving in to it. Chesterton says, the world is converted by the saint that contradicts it most. I guess that explains why in an age that worships money, sex, and power, the most influential woman in the modern world was a tiny little nun taking care of the sick and dying in the streets of Calcutta. Want more than a minute? Visit chesterton.org.
Hey, we're back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Final score, Dowling 49 and the Ames Little Cyclones 6, alongside Matt Mandring, Mark Hamadale, John Chido, corralling some interviews. He's going to have a few players to interview tonight as the Maroons improve their record to 4-3, Matt. Very important as far as the RPI and the rating system they use in Class 5A. It's not district champs, it's RPI and how that goes. And the Maroons now pretty good fare there. And Ames drops to 4-3, and that flips them out maybe out of the top 6 teams. So game had a lot of implications, didn't it?
It did have a lot of implications, and the Maroons looked spot on in the first half and were basically flawless as they went 5 for 5 on their.
They're pointing at us.
Uh-oh.
Let's go down the field, and John Chido, you're going to have to introduce your cast of thousands down there. Go ahead, Johnny.
I have Coach Wilson first, and Coach, congratulations on a nice victory tonight. Offense was clicking and all throughout the first game. The tempo, everything was in sound. Same thing second half. Defense played well. Your thoughts on overall?
Well, I think overall, I thought we played a good game. I thought we had too many penalties, but we were able to finish drives, which was nice to see. I thought defensively we've done, excuse me, what we've done most of the year, and so I'm proud of our kids. It's a good senior night, so we can get a lot of kids in the ball game.
Yeah, and there was a lot of seniors that were able to play tonight, especially early on in that ball game. It's nice to see them get reps and see what they kind of do, and along with juniors as well.
It was, and even sprinkled some sophomores in there. So really it takes a team effort to be able to do that. Ames does some things that can create some issues, and I thought our kids, for the most part, handled it pretty well.
And going to the game, you have Corey Phillips, who's 6'7", is a hard guy to defend and keep him in check. And I thought Dominic Quinn there, when they tried to isolate him on the end zone, had a nice position to be able to make that play.
Well, we did. He is a physical mismatch. I think their staff and their quarterback does a nice job of distributing the ball around, and I think it keeps you honest. So for the most part, I think we did a pretty good job. I think we gave up some yards, but we're able to keep them out of the end zone until late.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time, and best of luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, John Chido with head coach Tom Wilson here on the post-game show here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and, of course, Johnny's going to, I think, get a few players here and there, Matt. But what a night it was for Dowling, kind of looking back some of the numbers here. Jake Inglis, 3 touchdown passes tonight, a couple of them to Cooper Nicholson of 51 and 53 yards. He threw one to Carson Brown from 26 yards. Dante Cataldo, a touchdown pass to Mikey McLean from 16 yards. And then Adam Townsend, the linebacker, running back, captain, one of the co-captains, 2 rushing touchdowns tonight.
The touchdown maker. He is a touchdown maker, Adam Townsend. And so now Coach has got Carson Brown down there, it looks like. We wanted to get to Carson last week and weren't able to.
We do, but John Chud, you have Carson Brown. And where did you play Carson when he was in 8th grade, Johnny?
Carson played everywhere. I mean, he started out as a quarterback, and he could do everything. He could run, he could throw, and he's blossomed into a tremendous receiver. And
well, take it away.
Just proud to watch you mature over the years, ever since 4th grade. Now you're here Friday Night Lights, your senior year, and you're just – touchdown after touchdown, high-pointing balls, and let's talk about your experience over the last 4 years and what it's meant to you.
Yeah, it's been great so far. Started out as a freshman, played freshman ball, sophomore, played sophomore ball, and then varsity as a junior and senior. It's just been great being with all these guys, just playing fun every Friday.
It surely goes quick. I mean, 4 years go quick, and then this season seems like it's flown by, and nice to see that on senior night come up with a great victory. Seen a lot of new faces in the ball game and showing your leadership to the younger guys that are going to take on the role next year when you leave. And talk about your leadership there.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't really have much leadership last year, but it was a big role for me this year because I had to. But it was just great for all the guys to get in this game.
Carson, best of luck next week, and appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, Carson Brown with John Chido, who was his 8th grade coach. Played him everywhere. Is that right? You can do that? Yeah, you still do that?
You take kids and you put them where they can excel, and Johnny's a smart guy. You take your best athletes, put them all over the place.
We're going to try to come up with one more interview. Dowling winning tonight 49-6 on senior night. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chido, the Central Iowa Sports Network crew, led by Pete Tarpey and company. They do a great job, and unfortunately this might be our last broadcast with them because next week is Valley Week. And can we go back down to John? Johnny, you got somebody down there now?
Caleb Sayer, Gabe Carey, and Ryan Bagenstosh, the heart and soul
of
the offensive line, these 3 seniors here. And Caleb, talk about your experience all 4 years, senior night, time to get some action, done very well. Talk about that.
I mean, it's been pretty great these last 4 years. I really thank Dowling football for everything they've given, and I'm just happy to be able to play the sport of football and be able to get in on senior night. It's really special to me because I never knew it was actually going to come.
It just goes by so quick, and I can't believe I'm standing here with you 3 guys. I mean, remember when you guys are 5th and 6th grade? Now I'm standing here and you guys are seniors with 3 games to go in the regular season. It's just amazing how time flies, but it's nice to see you guys still playing football and being able to play for Coach Pollock. And talk about what that meant to you.
I mean, he's a great mentor. He's really the O-line wizard. But, yeah, he gets us ready for every single game, and he's the best O-line coach out there. So,
well, Ryan Bagenstosh, the center, another senior leadership here. You've been playing center for a long time now, and you've kind of grown in that position. Talk about this year, how it compares to other years for you.
Well, this year is the most special because it's a senior year, but I just love playing center. This means a lot to me more, though, because I have my guys out here, my fellow seniors, and all my other guys out here fighting for me.
Thanks, Ryan. Gabe, we got to talk to you early on this season. A lot has changed now. You guys have kind of grown into an offensive unit, especially in that offensive line is starting to grow. Talk about how it's changed here over the last 4 weeks.
I mean, starting off the season 1-3, you got to make some changes real quick. And we went out to practice, and we worked harder than any team in the state to make sure we were ready to take on these last few games. And here we are now, kicking teams' butts. And, good senior night.
Well, guys, best of luck next week, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, great job, John Chido, on the field with the linemen and Coach Pollock taking pictures. You can check out his Twitter account or Facebook account, I'm sure. Pete's already got it here. He's got it already posted. Yeah, that's how Pollock works, and he does a good job. Matt, we're going to take a break here, but what a night, and something you remember. We haven't had a whole lot of these this year because, depends on where you're at.
Yeah.
And last week at Johnson, we had the opportunity, but we had connectivity problems out there, but not tonight. And we want to thank Central Iowa Sports Network for working with us as we've done all year. This is our last game together that we know of. Playoffs, sure. Well, we'll try to help out in some form.
Got some work to get done before that happens.
That's all got to work out. Yeah. Take a break, come back. 49-6, Dowling with the lead and win over Ames. And we'll return after these messages. We'll talk about the upcoming game next Friday night, a big one, Dowling Valley. We'll have it here on Iowa Catholic Radio, and they'll be showing it on the Central Iowa Sports Network too. Back after these messages.
60 Seconds with Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen.
Man who's free to love is free to hate. He who is free to obey is free to rebel. Virtue in this concrete order is possible only in those spheres in which it is possible to be vicious. A man can be a saint only in a church in which it is possible to be a devil. You say, well, if I were God, I would destroy evil. Well, if you did that, you would destroy human freedom. God will not destroy freedom. If we do not want any dictators on this earth, certainly we do not want any dictators in the kingdom of heaven. And those, therefore, who would blame God for allowing man freedom to go on hindering and thwarting his work are like those who, seeing blots and smudges and errors in the student's notebook, would condemn the teacher for not snatching away the book and doing the copy himself.
The people you know and trust are on EWTN.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines alongside Matt Mandring, John Chido. This is how we started up here earlier tonight on senior night, Dowling with a 49-6 win. We haven't given Johnny much. These 1-minute breaks don't give him a chance to recover. Did you sprint up the stairs?
Yeah.
I was telling Matt that I felt like Rocky on the first section.
Turn your mic off? I mean,
yeah.
You did. You felt like Rocky, and then you got about almost here, and then
I felt like the crying game. I was going to go down in tears, and it's all over with. So.
Well, what a night it was. I'm sure you saw a lot of emotion, a lot of the seniors, and we heard that in some of the interviews you did. But it was just tremendous to have a night like this. I don't know if it's a surprise, but handling Ames 49-6, that was kind of interesting. And Maroons now have 2 games left, and they're very important games. Valley next week and then at Waukee to close out the season. Johnny?
Yeah, next week's going to be a pivotal game for Dowling and Valley, for the matter. They don't, it's always a big rivalry game, but this is going to have extra meaning. With Dowling being 5-3, 4-3,
4-3 right now.
4-3 right now. So extra important, extra urgency on this game, and you don't want to go in overconfident and too juiced up for it. You want to stay calm and be disciplined, and if they continue to do the offense they did tonight, I think they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, and Matt, it's about consistency. That's what Johnny's referring to on the offensive side for Dowling. We saw a little bit that tonight, but Ames has got a lot at stake. They lost the first head-to-head game, and they got to win their last 2 games. They have Des Moines Lincoln at home next Friday night, while Dowling plays here against Valley, but as visitors. So there's a lot at stake.
There is a lot at stake. And, usually over the last several years, since I've been here at least, so this is year number 7, is that this game has always been early in the year. It's been an early year game, and so there wasn't a lot on the line. As early on, you're testing each other out, and it was kind of like a boxing match.
Yeah.
Both teams were throwing punches and playing games and see who would come out in the end. This year, now all of a sudden, it's got a lot of weight is on Dowling's shoulders because there's a potential with a loss you might not make the playoffs, and you can bet Valley's got that up. We're going to have that up on a board somewhere. Take Dowling out, so it's going to be a lot of fun next week and a lot of pressure as they go in. It's a playoff game.
It certainly is, and that's something that didn't happen last year. Dowling beat Valley during the regular season early. It was like week 2 or 3. And then the playoff game got COVIDed out. The Valley team came down with COVID, and Dowling had a bye to the playoffs to go to the semifinals before losing in 2 overtimes to Ankeny. So that's kind of how it all played out. But this will be the rematch of Dowling Valley that never happened last year. Is happening this year. Some scores we had. City High was beaten tonight by Pleasant Valley.
Wow.
And pretty handily, like 31-15 or something like that. I saw that score. And Southeast Polk winning tonight. They block an extra point to win it.
Yeah, field goal.
A field goal that was Cedar Rapids Prairie was kicking the winning field goal, and they blocked it. And that's how that game is. So this RPI thing in Class 5A, keep in mind district football is still in effect for the other classes, but this is RPI, and it's like whatever that formula is behind the scenes we don't know about, look on Mondays, folks, on the Iowa High School website, because that's how you find out.
Yeah, and you don't want to leave it in whatever that formula comes to be, whatever the equation, whatever how they put it together. You don't want to leave it in that hands. You want to control your own destiny. This is like college football without the playoff. Who gets in the 4 playoffs for college football? This is like for the 16 teams in high school.
Right, right. All right, guys. Well, I know we've got to move because we've got the CISN crew, and they're giving us the high sign, and our producer, who's Jimmy Olson back there at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studio, the one and only Jimmy Olson, Mr. Tarpey. And Pete Tarpey says hello, Jimmy. So that'll wrap things up. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight via CISN or the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. For my broadcast partner, Matt Maindring, John Chido, I'm Mark Amadale. Thanks for joining us tonight. Final score for the final time, Dowling 49, Ames 6. We'll be right back here at Valley Stadium next Friday night. Dowling will be the visitor. It's Dowling Valley, Week 8. Hope you can join us. Until then, have a safe and faith-filled evening from all of us at Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, Kemen, Mercy One, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formalware, Bozen the Florist, Northwest Bank, and Catholic United Financial. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.